Looking to bounce back in a big way on the biggest stage. A Saturday night home game at historic Damaschke Field for your Oneonta Outlaws is tonight. They welcome in their rivals now to the north, the Boonville Lumberjacks. Welcome back to Outlaws Pregame. As always, my name is Colby Smith, and our pregame show going to be loaded with great content today. Is today our one and only day of Outlaws 2024 junior reporter Francesca and Penelope Young. Have to give them a huge shout out. They did a great job this afternoon interviewing. Not to say about the experience, having all those people here, and Melancholy Pharmaceutical is where he's got a lot of family friends as well. So tonight, certainly a special night for Darren Dangler, and so we'll have that interview coming up for you shortly. But we talked about bouncing back. Our player of the game last night in the loss at Glens Falls, none other than Ben Gilbert. He goes 2 innings of no hit ball, no runs, walked 1, and struck out 3. So he gets the nod coming out of the bullpen, his first player of the game accolade of the season for your Outlaws. And then, of course, we can't go any further without our plays of the game from last night's loss. So here is the first. First pitch, Hacken going to go out towards right center, and that one caught on the run. Great play made by Jack Kopko in the gap, as that will be scored as an F8, and there's 2 quickly away. Well, now that ball getting powered back to the infield and drilled over to first. And so Hopko going to double off Jacob Hand over there for an 8-3 for the third out. So the Dragons leadoff single going to be a fall up there in Glens Falls by an 8-3 score. So now in the Outlaws' last 2 trips to Glens Falls, they've taken 2 losses. And when Glens Falls comes back here on Wednesday night, Oneonta is certainly going to be looking for some vengeance. But first, we got our second play of the game. Bottom of the third inning, back here on Outlaws YouTube, and it's going to be 9-1-2 to bat for the Glens Falls Dragons against Dan Matafee. Christian Moe going to take a called strike 1 on the lower outside corner of the zone. Moe playing second base tonight for Glens Falls. He's gone 0 for 7 against the Outlaws so far this year, and he puts a bunt right side of the mound. Matafee, gun throw to first in time. Dan Matafee going to get the job done. Been slow to break off the mound, but he gets to that one and puts an absolute rocket into the glove of Chase Armstrong, and that will be a defensive play of the game candidate for Oneonta's defense. We'll go back. An absolute missile by Dan Matafee to gun that one over to Chase Armstrong in the third inning for the first out. At that point, Oneonta had the 1-0 lead, but the Glens Falls Dragons would go on to score 8 of the next 10 to take that one last night. And so now the Outlaws back here at home to play Boonville, looking for answers. This is a team that the Outlaws have had quite a bit of success against so far this summer, as they are 5-1 in the season series against the Boonville Lumberjacks. Most recently, the Outlaws, a 3-0 win against the Jacks back on Friday, July 5th. So it's been just a little over 2 weeks since these two teams saw each other, and not much has changed on either side of things. The Outlaws have had a couple of players depart since then. Boonville has actually added a couple of players since then, none of which are in their active lineup tonight. Is coming up. We will run through Boonville's lineup, but first we're going to head down to our player interview of the day as Darren Dangler stopped by our pregame show. Colby Smith, and I'm super duper excited to be joined today by my good friend, Outlaws catcher and outfielder, Darren Dangler. Darren, now that the summer is starting to wind to a close, tell me about your first season as an Outlaw.
It's been great. Got to meet a lot of new people from all over. Get some good friends, had some good wins. But yeah, it's been great.
Well, and what is the whole experience of growing up here and now being able to play here truly meant to you?
It's really special because I would come here as a little kid and just watch the games and thought it was so cool. Now I'm playing, so that's pretty sweet.
And playing in front of the Damaschke Field crowd, how would you describe it?
They're a great crowd. Oneonta knows how to pop out for some big games, like July 4th was a huge game. But yeah, they're a good crowd. It's fun.
How do you as a player thrive off energy from people in the crowd?
Yeah, it fuels me, fires me up. Yeah, I think it fires up our whole dugout.
I'm talking about getting fired up, the dugout, energy. How do you feel like, despite the struggles for this team as of recently, you all have kept the positive vibes?
We definitely kept our vibes pretty positive. Just trying to get back in that win column. But yeah, we're just trying to keep it rolling a little bit here.
How frustrating is it to have this stretch that you all have had for this month of July?
Yeah, no, it's pretty frustrating. Just the weather, man. A few games canceled mid-game. Just not really playing a lot of ball, but hopefully we're back to playing every day.
And for you specifically, you've been in the game 2 of those times that it's been suspended, and so you look at your stat line and things that certainly looked a little fluid. What's that been like for you mentally?
It's frustrating, but I don't really care. I just gotta do it again.
Well, in terms of talking about the weather, as a baseball player, how do you go about keeping your mind into it, keeping your body into it when you have a crazy couple of weeks like this?
Just lifting every day and getting the proper rest that your body needs, and just making sure you get your reps in when we don't have a game.
What kind of things have you been up to for the last couple of weeks with all the free time?
Been golfing a little bit, just hanging out with some of the boys back in my home. That's pretty much it, other than playing ball.
What are your favorite golf courses to hit up in the area?
Stanford's the closest to me, so that's the one I play the most. But ever since that golf tournament, that Oneonta Outlaws Open, I've been playing at Aliyah a lot, and Del High's pretty nice too.
Talking about that golf tournament, tell me a little bit about your team and how that day went for you all.
It was me, Burnsworth, and 2 of my buddies, one from high school and one from the college that I'll be going to. But yeah, no, it was a great experience. Super fun tournament. Didn't shoot too well, but yeah, it was a lot of fun.
How do you feel like experiences like that golf tournament have really helped grow this team together?
Just gelling outside the sport helps us gel in the sport. Just coming closer to each other is pretty helpful.
Everybody all summer long on these has talked about being a part of this team, how special it's been, that you all just kind of clicked instantly.
Yeah.
Tell me a little bit about what that was like and how that all came to be.
Yeah, so at first there was little groups of us that initially knew each other. Then we just all started to click. Got off to a hot streak in the beginning of the season. Yeah, it was just really important that we started off already gelled together and not trying to figure each other out mid-season. So,
Talking about that hot streak at the beginning of the season, how do you guys look back at your month of June in terms of what was working there, and what are you looking to hone to get back going?
just gotta be more aggressive at the plate, and there's not really much more to it. We just gotta start winning again, whatever it comes down to.
And speaking of winning, this team finds themselves in a playoff chase for the first time in a couple of seasons. How exciting is it to be a part of something like this?
It's pretty cool. After a few more wins here, we'll secure our spot and be in the playoffs for, I don't know, the first time in how many years?
2
years? Yeah, be pretty sweet.
Well, and Darren, one last question here before I let you get back to it. Big night, Mellon Croc Pharmaceutical night, Catskill Little League's going to be here. What kind of crowd are you expecting for this big matchup against Boonville?
I'm expecting a pretty nice crowd. I grew up playing Catskill Little League, so all my parents' friends and some other family friends of ours, their kids play for them, so it's going to be pretty special.
Darren, thank you so much for your time. Good luck tonight.
Thank you.
So as always, a huge thank you to our Outlaw players for taking time to drop by our pregame show. Dangler, always a great conversation, and certainly he finds it extra special to play here in Oneonta, having grown up in local South Courtright, and he's always got family, friends, and whatnot in the stands, but tonight an even bigger crowd on place for him with lots of family and friends from Catskill Little League. You heard him talking about it in the house for this game tonight. Is not only is it Mellencrop Pharmaceutical Night, it's also Catskill Little League Night, and this place is bumping in downtown Oneonta for this huge Eastern Division matchup between Boonville and Oneonta. And we already hit on it once already, but today is Outlaws Junior Reporter Day as well. So Martin Thorsland had a special treat and got to talk to Francesca and Penelope Young this afternoon. So let's throw it down to that now.
I'm Francesca Young. I'm Penelope Young. And today we'll be interviewing Oneonta's in-laws. We're here with Outlaws Pictures and Martin Thorsland.
Good job. All right, lay a question on me.
What made you want to play baseball?
So what really made me want to play baseball is from a very young age. I had a bunch of influences in my community kind of pushing me to play baseball, and I always just had kind of a love for the game. So.
Why is baseball so important to you?
Baseball's so important to me because it's like a time where I can get out on the field and kind of not worry about anything else going on in my life. It's kind of just baseball, and it's what I love, so it's very relaxing.
Which major league player do you most look up to and why?
I don't know. I don't watch a lot of professional baseball, if I'm being honest. I kind of just like to focus on my game and kind of work harder, so I don't really know a lot of the players. So.
How old were you when you started playing baseball? Why did you play?
When I first started playing baseball, I was probably around like 6 or 7 years old, and I started playing because my mom really wanted to get me involved in physical activities really young, and I just fell in love with the sport from the first day. So.
What is a life lesson you learned from baseball?
A life lesson I learned from baseball is when things get tough, you kind of just gotta shake it off, leave it behind you, and move on. And like when I'm on the mound, if I throw a bad pitch or I let up a hit, I kind of gotta shake it really quick and just move on, look forward.
What is one piece of advice you would give to younger players?
One piece of advice I'd give to younger players is just kind of stick with it. I can't say my entire experience has been the easiest with baseball. You definitely have ups and downs, but just sticking with it and getting through the tough times is probably the best advice I have.
Do you have any other hobbies or interests outside of baseball?
I really like to be outdoors, so I really like to hunt and fish on my free time.
What is your favorite spot on the field?
My favorite spot on the field, like position?
Yeah.
Definitely pitcher. I'm kind of biased in that aspect just because I am a pitcher, but yeah, definitely the pitcher.
What does your daily routine look like?
My daily routine over the summer is I work during the week, so I'm up at 5 a.m., I go to work, and then I kind of chill out for a little while, and then usually we have an Outlaws game, so.
Are you single or do you have a wife?
Single? I am not. I am not single. I do actually have a girlfriend of about 3 years, and I don't really have any advice other than be nice to your partner. Anything else?
No.
That's all? Awesome. Thank you guys very much for coming out and talking to me today.
Not only did Francesca and Penelope do a great job interviewing Martin Thorsland, Thorsland did a great job answering those questions and getting two young fans and aspiring media members excited about the game of baseball. Can't say enough great things about Martin Thorsland and the kind of guy he is. He's just the type who knows that something like that's going on. He wants to be involved, and Thorsland signed autographs for the two, did that interview, and had a great conversation with him on the side as well. So thank you to Martin for his time this afternoon. And now we'll give a thank you to Keaton Mark and Josiah Aska as well, as they talked to Francesca and Penelope as well. So let's toss it down to their conversation now.
Hi, I'm Francesca Young, and today we will be interviewing the coaches. Dangler, and today we have pictures with the coach.
First question.
Why is baseball important to coach to you?
Baseball is important to me because I've been playing sports my whole life, and after high school I played 3 sports. In high school, basketball, football, and baseball. But after high school I continued to play baseball in college, and it's just kind of molded around my life in general, and I've learned a lot of valuable lessons from it, from other coaches, and that's ultimately what got me into coaching in the first place.
What made you want to be a baseball coach?
I just like the aspect of the technical parts of the game and getting to teach it to the next generation.
How old were you when you started playing?
I was 6 years old when I started playing t-ball, I believe 5 or 6, and then I started Little League when I was 7.
What is a life lesson you learned from being a baseball coach?
I say just to never give up, you know? Always try your best, and even if your best isn't enough, just keep giving it your best. That's all you can do.
Which grade or high school or something like that coach would you most look up to?
Which coach would I look up to the most? I'd probably say one of my assistant coaches in college. Shout out Coach Pat Christopher. But yeah, he for both of us, he recruited us, and he gave us a lot of lessons. He worked with the outfielders, and he kind of took us under his wing in terms of just life and baseball in general.
Do you have any other hobbies or interests outside of baseball?
Golf. We golf a lot. Yeah, golf and trying new food.
What is one piece of advice you would give to other kids who want to be a baseball coach?
I'd say if you truly have a passion for the game, it's definitely right for you. And with all the struggles of playing and coaching, it's a different atmosphere on the other side in terms of struggling and then succeeding. But those successes that come with the struggles is what makes it worth it.
What does your daily routine look like?
You know, wake up, brush my teeth, wash my face. Depends on the day, but you know, sometimes we prep for game days. Other days we just relax a little bit and kind of let the day take us there. Work out, those kind of things.
Do you have a favorite spot on field to coach?
Yeah, other than coaching third base, I'd probably say just in the dugout, just being around the guys, just standing here and being locked into the game, and just being around the field in general.
Any more questions? Thanks, Coach Keaton and Coach Joe.
Thank you.
So I got to give a huge thank you to head coach and assistant coach Keaton Mark and Josiah Aska for taking the time to do that with Francesca and Penelope this afternoon. Was a great time. But now we're getting ready for the first inning between Boonville and Oneonta. Colby Smith, and I'm super excited and privileged to be joined for this first inning by Outlaws first baseman Chase Armstrong. Chase, how are we feeling tonight?
Feeling good tonight. Feeling good.
And Chase, you've seen this Boonville team a couple of times this year, been in the lineup against them. What do the Outlaws have to expect in this one?
Swings. Definitely expect them to be swinging for sure.
So leading things off for Boonville, it's going to be Wei Chen Wang, who's playing left field. Outlaws starting pitcher tonight, none other than Caleb Kempler, who makes his 7th start of the season in his 4th appearance here on the Damaschke mound. First pitch of the ball game, going to be down and in for ball 1. Chase, tell me about Caleb Kempler. What's he like, and what do you expect every time he's out there?
He's a great guy. I always expect him to be throwing strikes. He's a big strike guy.
His 1-0 going to come on in tight to the hands for ball 2. And what does his arsenal usually consist of?
I believe it's fastball, curveball, changeup. He's always commanding that fastball fairly well whenever he's out there.
Kempler is 2-0 pitch, drilled out towards right field. Charging back goes Connor Waiting in foul territory, looking up, and he's going to run out of room as that one drops over the screen, and so the count will be 2-1. And in terms of, him being from Marist, you from Ohio Northern, all you guys coming from different colleges, what's it been like, getting accustomed to each other and learning each other?
Oh, it's been pretty easy, especially going to college, your freshman year, you get there. New faces anyway, so you're kind of used to seeing new faces and getting along with each other, so just meshing pretty easily, yeah.
So the count's now 3-1 on Wei Chen Wang. This Boonville team coming off a tie with Watertown yesterday by a 2-2 score in 10 innings is now the 3-1, going to drill him on the back of the jersey. And so Wei Chen Wang going to get the first base bag here to lead things off. And Chase, what'd you see on that one that got away?
I think he just was trying to hit that inside, and it just went a little too inside.
So Wei Chen Wang going to be on first base, and now Jackson Williford, the catcher, going to come to the dish. The Boonville Lumberjacks in their 35th game tonight, and they've batted 10 in all but 2 so far this year. They are running out 10 here against the Outlaws tonight. First one showing bunt was Williford, and he couldn't get anything down as that one was in the dirt. And if you're Boonville, you think it's pretty aggressive to show bunt here so early on?
Oh, whenever they get a runner on with no outs, especially with a guy on first, they always try to move him over. They're always playing that smart baseball, trying to get that run over into scoring position, no matter what the score is.
So Wei Chen Wang with a couple of step lead and a bunt shown again, and again won't get down as that one low and outside. And if you're Kempler, what are you going to here in a 2-0 count, now with a runner on first?
Especially with him showing bunt, just at least trying to get an out. So just throwing a strike, let him bunt it,
Toes pointed square to third, the 2-0, going to sail on in high for ball 3. And now he's thrown 8 pitches, and 7 of which have been balls. What do you think he's got to, tighten up or change out here?
He's just got to make sure he's taking deep breaths and refocusing. That's the biggest thing that I always see, pitching-wise with our pitchers, is they don't take their time and to reset and relocate whenever they're just throwing balls.
Well, and for somebody who plays first and being right in the heat of things with this pitching staff, what do you usually talk about with a pitcher, or what do you usually look for from this Outlaw pitching staff?
The main talks is whenever I'm just in the dugout with them, I'm letting them know hey, they're getting off a little short, so you don't got to worry about them, or vice versa. They're getting off a little long, so maybe take a second look or so. But with strike-wise, kind of like what I just said, is I go up to him and be like, hey, just make sure you're taking that deep breath and resetting, because that's the biggest thing in baseball is reset, next pitch.
It's now going to be Carter Storty with 2 on base after the walk to Jackson Williford. Storty's had some success against Oneonta so far this summer. He took a big hack at the fastball, and he'll be behind in the count, 0-1. And that, Jay, is probably the best pitch we've seen from Kempler so far.
Yeah, I do agree with that.
So Storty falls behind 0-1. Third base, the only bag open, and the shadows starting to creep in here at Damaschke Field on this big Saturday night ball game. 0-1 offering, going to come on in tight to the knees and a called strike 2. So Kempler's working right back here with a 0-2 count. And Chase, tell me a little bit about you. What made you decide to play here in Oneonta? How's the experience been?
The reason why I came here to Oneonta is because Keat and Joe play with my assistant coach back at school. So, and Keat also is an assistant coach in my conference. So with him reaching out to all the assistant coaches, or my assistant coach let us players know at Ohio Northern that there was an opening. And this summer I did want to play because I took a summer off last year. So just that connection right there was able to get me here in Oneonta. And it's been very fun meshing with the guys, picking some stuff up from them, and definitely having some fun up here.
Count 1-2 now on Carter Storty. Still nobody away, top of the first. What are some specific things you've learned so far this summer?
One thing, swing-wise, I picked up from Connor. You know how he starts with the bat on the shoulder. I started putting the bat on the shoulder before I like get ready for the pitch, and it's definitely helped me out in the back half of this summer.
Count going to drop to 2-2 here on Carter Storty. And specifically talking about Connor Waiting, being your position guy, how much do you guys communicate with each other? And besides, of course, swing mechanics, what kind of things do you pick up from each other or learn from each other?
We definitely pick up how to like position ourselves and how to move around first base defensively. But mainly in the clubhouse, we definitely just talk about school and baseball.
2-2, line straight out to Jacoby Dale. It took a couple of steps in center, and so that will be the first out. Left to right in the outfield for Oneonta in this one, Colton Harrison, Jacoby Dale, Ethan Glossa. First to third on the infield, Connor Waiting, Brody Raleigh, Jack Bateman, Owen Burnsworth, and behind the plate for Caleb Kepler in this one, none other than Darren Dangler. And after mentioning Ethan Glossa, a lot of you guys look at him as a character guy in the clubhouse.
For sure.
He's playing his last game tonight.
Yeah.
How are you guys going to go about, making up for losing a presence like that?
Just next man up, it's just that sort of deal. He's definitely one hard guy to step up and fill his shoes, but yeah, it's just the game of baseball. It's next man up.
Hugo Conehorst, the extra hitter, count 1-0, and he's going to take another one in tight, but a called strike this time around, and so the count going to be 1-1. And with this next man up mentality, how well do you feel like that's worked for this group so far?
Especially with like rotating guys in and out, everybody's been getting their time. So I think it would be fairly easy for somebody just to be ready to go in more opportunity situations for sure.
Count 1-2 now on Hugo Conehorst. It's Waldy Rodriguez who waits on Dent for Boonville here in this first inning. The final meeting in the season series between the Jats and Outlaws here in 2024 is Kepler's 1-2. Swing and a miss as he's going to get Conehorst reaching for the fastball. And so there's 2 down. And Chase, what a way to bounce back after the first 2 reached. Is Kepler's first offering of the AB going to be up and away for ball 1. And you specifically as a hitter, what's your go-to pitch to look for when you're in the box?
First pitch, I'm looking for a fastball. But like deeper like in the game, I'll be ready to see that spin like an off-speed pitch. Oh, right in the ear flap.
Waldy Rodriguez going to be a bit shaken up here in this top of the first inning. That one came right on up into his ear flap, and so he's going to get back to his feet, though. We'll see if he stays in the game as he's trying to walk this one off. Chase, what did you see on that pitch?
It just got away from Kemp. He was probably trying to hit that inside again, probably just got away from him and ran up and in.
So the bases will be full for Boonville on this one, as Waldy Rodriguez will stay in, at least for the time being. Head coach Brian Fajardo, we're going to go down and have a word with him. And Chase, one thing that quite a few people were talking about before this game, started to become a little bit of a rivalry here between you guys and the Lumberjacks this summer. What's that been like to be a part of, and would you agree with that?
I would say it's starting to, especially with these last couple games. It's kind of gotten a little chirpy. It's been kind of fun. I've yet not to play them, so. But being in the dugout, having a little chirp back session, it's been fun. It definitely doesn't get out of hand like it does with Mohawk or anything, but just the chirpiness back and forth is definitely fun to do in the moment for sure.
Joshua Braxton now to come to bat here for Boonville. 2 away, bases loaded, still in the first inning in a 0-0 game. Kepler, first one, going to break on in that lower inside edge for a called strike 1. And you mentioned Mohawk the other night, that 1-run loss for you guys up there. Tell me a little bit about that game.
That game, we were definitely fighting because last time we went up there it was 14-0, 5 innings. We got out of there quick, and it wasn't the way we wanted to. So definitely going in there with the intention to win. that away game for sure. We were definitely in the zone hitting-wise in the beginning of the game, and we kind of just fell off hitting at the end of the game. But Hopco definitely was picking us up hitting-wise in that game for sure.
Count 1-2 after Kempler bounces one on the plate. And in terms of the atmosphere at Mohawk Valley, how do you feel like that compares and contrasts to the other parts you've played in this league this summer?
Mohawk's definitely the most chirpiest because when we got into those later 2 innings, the fans were starting to chirp us too. So definitely one of the ones where the fans are definitely coming at us too.
So Joshua Branston going to be retired via the swinging K as Kempler once again goes down and away slider. To the bottom of the first we go as the bottom of the first inning, back here on Outlaws YouTube, the Boonville Lumberjacks strand the bases full in the top half of the first inning, and now Chase Brendan Connolly going to lead things off for Oneonta.
Yep.
What have you seen from BC so far this summer?
So far, he started out hot, and he kind of hit a little rough spot, but lately he's been working his craft in the cages and definitely been working back to getting that hitting mentality.
Little bouncer over to first. Alan Hernandez going to take it to the bag himself. Bryce Busciglia racing over there to back him up. So it'll be a 3 unassisted to retire Connolly to start this one. And talking about swing work in the cage, you're one of those guys. Keaton says clubhouse is opening at 2. You're here in the parking lot at 1:45. What's your mindset like in terms of getting work in?
Just making sure I'm loose, taking the time I can have, all the time I can get to make sure body's loose and ready to play that game, get the swing right, that type of thing.
Gloss is going to take one down and away from Bryce Busciglia to start his at bat, and now the 1-0 offering. Belted out towards right, takes a big curve into foul territory, and going to get over the fence and out of the ballpark until the count will be 1-1. And Chase, now away from baseball. Talked a little bit about it with Colton Harrison last night. Yeah. What are some of the things that you personally do to, keep yourself mentally ready and keep yourself mentally in the game?
So mentally ready, like whenever I'm in the dugout, it's just like staying in with every pitch, cheering on my guy in the box, and vice versa, guy on the mound. And another thing is like making sure that like in between innings I'm getting the first baseman the ball, getting the center fielder the ball. Just the little things to keep me in the game. Another thing is like say right now Darren's catching right now. Like whenever he's up to bat and he has his gear and he gets to either the last out or he's left on base, I'm helping him get his gear on. Just the little things that keep me inside the game. Yeah.
So the count's run full on Ethan Glossa as Bisciglia winds. Sends one in low and tight, so that'll be ball 4, and Glossa is going to be the first outlaw base runner in this one. Glossa, tell me about his approach at the plate and what you've learned from him.
His approach to the plate is if he gets one in the zone, he's going to swing, and he's going to make sure he's going to put a bat on it. So that's definitely something I like from him, and I've definitely taken from him is like making sure I get one in my zone that I want to hit, especially early in the count.
Jacoby Dale going to take one in there for a called strike 1. Talking about zone, I know you're one of these guys, umpires at the Cooperstown All-Star Village.
Yep.
Tell me about that.
Oh, it's a lot of fun, especially when you get to work with your teammates for sure. Since we get like those early games, it makes sure we're on a good sleep schedule for sure. But working with the guys behind the plate or on the field is definitely very fun. Get to interact with the kids, maybe teach them a little something, either before, after, or during the game. Just helping the young kids to get better.
So a little tad slapped on over there by Alan Hernandez at first. He's at first. Rodriguez is at second. Piccone short. And Lineberger plays third tonight for Boonville. Wang, Acevedo, and Braxton is the outfield left to right. And Williford's behind the plate as Dale, little bouncer to third. Lineberger bumbled that one. And Jacoby Dale going to run it on out. And so it should be an E5.
Yep.
So Dale going to get on base. And now there's going to be 2 on for Jack Kopko. And Chase, Jack Kopko, the team batting average leader.
Yep.
You mentioned him in terms of his approach at the plate so far this summer.
Yep.
What's led to his success?
He's just the guy that he knows his zone, and he knows how to put a bat on the ball and put it in play for sure, and definitely in play where nobody's at.
So tonight he's the extra hitter in this lineup. Little checklet to second, and now home with a fastball, and it's going to clip the lower outside, and so it'll be 0-1.
Hobb didn't like that call.
Well,
I think he thought it was a little high. Little head shake. But you definitely know he knows his zone because, like, when you watch him on his takes, you can tell whether he thinks it's a strike or not.
so that'll go up and away, and the count's going to even up at 1-1. And how do you feel like that whole umpiring at the All-Star Village has really impacted how you look at the strike zone and how you approach dealing with umpires?
It's definitely helped me know my zone, and it's definitely helped me understand why some umpires make the calls that they do. So, but always, like, whenever I ask a question or, like, turn to them, I'm always like, did that get this part of the plate, you know? Just ask them in a nice manner so they don't think I'm coming off as a hothead or anything.
Skidley a little, let's see, to second, the 2-1. Going to brush Hopko on back, and so it'll go to 3-1. What's your best story or best memory you have from umpiring so far this summer?
I don't know. There's been a lot of games. I'd probably have to say the day I had 4 games in a row with Burnsworth. That was definitely a day. But we had a team that was our first game, and they went all the way and I would say beat the better teams and won the whole thing. And the coach, one of the coaches, even hugged me and Burnsworth after the game. So he definitely didn't think that they were going to go that far.
Payoff pitch, shot on up over the screen on the third baseline by Hopko. And so we'll do the payoff again. He's 4 for 8 against Boonville on the summer so far. So certainly has had some success against this Boonville team he struggled against in his first year in the PGCBL last year. Both base runners on the move. Hopko out towards left, and that one going to go into the Oneonta bullpen area. So, Chase, this hit and run play that Coach Keaton and Coach Joe love, what's that been like being a part of, and how much do you like that?
See, the thing is, it's not really a Coach Keaton, Coach Joe thing. We kind of just run, and whenever it's 2 strikes, it becomes a hit and run because like the batter's going to swing if it's a strike or close to a strike. So, but it's definitely helped us out because our batters know where the defenders are going to go on steals and everything like that. So, and that's going to fall for sure.
Shallow left, that one drops
Gonna
in.
send Gloss.
Glossa, turn around third. He's coming on down to the plate. Williford slaps the tag on, but it's late. Gloss has got the first run, and in the second is Hopko, and it's 1-0 Oneonta.
I'm surprised Glow didn't slide on that one, but I guess with the catcher moving back behind the plate, he didn't think he was going to get him or anything, which I guess was true.
So Gloss is able to cross the plate. Dale gets all the way to third. In terms of that pitch, the way Hopko came around on that one, what was your biggest takeaway? What did you see?
Biggest takeaway, he saw it outside, and it was kind of like the last pitch. He fouled off that way. He saw it outside, and he took it that way. Didn't put too much power. Just was like, I'm going to put it in play.
So now Colton Harrison going to come to the plate with 2 in scoring position. Jacoby Dale on third. He reached courtesy of the E5, and then Jack Hopko gets the RBI double. So Colton Harrison, he certainly had some success against Boonville earlier on in the year.
I would say that, yeah.
Bryce Boskidlia, actually one of the pitchers that Colton Harrison hit up there on his birthday back on the 30th of June, as the count's going to be 1-0. So, Chase, Colton Harrison, what's he been like to have as a teammate, and what have you seen from him this year?
He's a really good. He's a guy that grinds. He shows. Off the helmet. He's a guy that obviously gets hit a lot. I remember he got hit like 5 times in his first game, or something like that. But he's a guy that comes into the clubhouse. He grinds, gets in the cage, always working on his craft. He'll take any chance he can get to play, because right now I believe he's not in the outfield, but he wasn't. He was supposed to be in the outfield, but I think they put Glow out there instead of EHing or DHing today, for the fact that this is his last day. So, but he'll go into the outfield. He likes being in the outfield whenever he plays first base. He likes being at first base. He just likes being in the game.
Well, and so Harrison going to be involved in the base running at the moment, with now waiting to hit for the Outlaws. So the bases are going to be full with already 1 run home in the inning. Outlaws lone hit, the Hopko RBI double, and Boonville also an error so far in this half inning if you're just tuning in. Waiting going to bat, and Darren Dangler going to be waiting in the on-deck circle. Again, there's 1 away here in this bottom of the first. Bryce Boskidlia, first pitch to Waiting, going to come on in there for a called strike 1. And Chase, I know Connor certainly made some changes in terms of his at-bat, in terms of the facial hair, trying to change things up today.
Yeah.
You know, what's Waiting got to do to, find his groove again?
I think in the past couple games he's definitely been working his way to that, because he's been getting those RBIs with those singles in the past couple games that he's played in for sure. So I think his changing the approach, and for him, I think he, like, in the cages, he's like, I'm just going to put the ball in play. So that's definitely helped in the past couple outings that he's played in for sure.
So that took a nice ride in there for a ball 1, and so the count going to be 1-2. And Waiting was telling me yesterday his go-to pregame meal is a breakfast sandwich from Dunkin' Donuts. What's yours?
It varies. It varies because, we have that time right after, like, BP or whatever, where Jacoby and I either, like, hit up Moe's or Wendy's. It's one of the two. But yeah, it's either a burrito bowl from Moe's or a biggie bag from Wendy's.
2-2 pitch from Boskidlia, down and outside as it dropped off that lower outside edge, and so the count's going to run full on Waiting. And Moe's, when you say bowl, what's the go-to? Chicken, steak?
Chicken. Yeah.
Chicken. I like it. So Boskidlia, 3-2 pitch, swing and a miss is Waiting. Can't connect on that one. And there's 2 down in the inning. So waiting, going to have a quick conversation with Darren Dangler. And Chase, it seems like it's become the normal for you guys this summer to have conversations as you're walking off after an at-bat.
Yeah. We definitely are giving our guys what we saw, like saying if his fastball is flat or off speed, has good movement, or just spins or anything. So just anything to give the hitter just the tips to be able to put the ball in play and get good at-bats.
Dangler, a couple of slow chops to Picani at short, who takes it right to the second base pad to force out Colton Harrison. So we'll score that as a 4 unassisted. Outlaws will strand 3 on base in this bottom of the first inning. And Chase, it's been great having you up here.
Great to be here.
Top of the second inning, back here on Outlaws YouTube. It's going to be Alan Hernandez to lead things off for the Jets in this half inning as that one sails in high to the bat. And I'm pleased to be joined here for the second inning by our first Outlaw Junior reporter. You want to introduce yourself for everybody watching?
I'm Penelope Young.
Penelope, where do you go to school? How old are you?
I go to Edmiston and I'm 8 years old.
So the count going to be 2-0 here on Hernandez. Is Kempler going to send one in high, and that's ball 3. Penelope, tell me a little bit about yourself. What are some of your favorite hobbies? Why do you enjoy baseball?
I'm going to start with why I enjoy baseball. I enjoy baseball because my family plays it a lot, and when I play it, it just reminds me of my family.
So Hernandez takes the leadoff walk here for Boonville, and we go down to Garrett Lineberger, and you were saying?
Wait, what?
What were you saying?
I was saying why I like baseball. I said I like baseball because my family plays it a lot, and when I play baseball, it reminds me of my family. And sometimes I play baseball.
And you play baseball. What position do you like?
My favorite one is probably third base.
Third base. Okay, I like it. Caleb Kempler comes up with a big put away, 1-3 to retire Lineberger. So Alan Hernandez going to advance over to second, so he'll be in scoring position with one away for Luke Piccone. And Penelope, talking about third base, what's your favorite thing about playing third?
My favorite thing about playing it is that when I play it, so usually people pass the ball there when someone's about to go there and then make a home run or something, like run, and yeah.
So Penelope loves being involved in the plays. If
Yeah,
you didn't get that.
But I just don't really like fish race that much because then mostly the ball mostly gets passed to you, and I don't like when the ball is mostly passed to me.
So you don't like being involved over there at first base?
No, I don't because like then I get like past the ball like too much.
So the count 2-0 here on Peconi. Again, down at second, Alan Hernandez after a leadoff walk, and that one going to be a slider up and in, and the count will go 3-0. Now, other than baseball, what kind of hobbies do you have?
I like reading and playing with my family and talking to my friends.
What kind of books you like to read?
I like to read almost every single kind.
So down and away, that one goes to Luke Peconi, and he's going to get on base courtesy of the walk. What's your favorite book of all time if you had to choose one?
Probably When Agnes Calls.
When Agnes Calls. What happens in that book? I don't think I've ever read it.
So it's about this one girl and her mom, but the one girl, when she was 3, she learned one of the dances to a bird, and then she called all of the birds one time when this one evil guy, he tried to steal a special kind of bird.
Do you like birds? Are they your favorite animal?
No, dinosaurs are my favorite animal.
Dinosaurs are your favorite animal. That's a hot take. Why dinosaurs?
I don't know why. It's just that they've been my favorite since I was born.
So this one going to be yanked back by Ethan Acevedo here for Boonville as the count's going to go 1-1. Do you have a specific favorite kind of dinosaur?
T-Rex.
T-Rex. What do you like about the T-Rex?
I don't know. It's just my favorite.
It's just your favorite?
Yeah, it's just my favorite for some reason.
Okay. So the count 1-1. Acevedo once again chose bunt, and he's going to pull it on back, and so the count will be 2-1. Are you hoping that someday in your life you see a dinosaur?
No and yes.
No and yes. Why is that?
Yes, because they're my favorite animal, but no, because they're dangerous.
They're dangerous?
Yeah.
Yeah. What other animals do you like besides dinosaurs?
I like dogs and cats. I like dogs and cats and a few other animals.
Dogs and cats and a few other animals. How about dogs? You got a favorite kind of dog?
A chihuahua.
A chihuahua. Do you like how they bark?
I don't know.
So the count's going to run full here on Ethan Acevedo. He's at the bottom of the order for the Boonville Lumberjacks, and then we'll go back to the top for Wei Chen Wang. We're in the top of the second inning with just one away, and now Boonville 2 on base against Caleb Kempler. The payoff offering, shot down the first baseline in foul territory, so we'll do it again. Penelope, reading, you said you like it, talking to your family as well. What kind of things have you been up to on summer break with your family? Don't be shy. You can tell me.
We've been going to Crop, and for 1 week there was VBS that we went to, and we've also been swimming after Crop.
Do you like swimming?
Yes.
What do you enjoy about it?
I just like when it's outside you can go underwater so then you can cool off.
That one drops into the right center gap. Coming all the way in to score from second base is Alan Hernandez. And the Boonville Lumberjacks will tie this thing up at 1 apiece in the second inning. So Acevedo will get an RBI, his 7th of the season, and we'll go back to the top of the order. And Penelope, it's definitely been hot so far this summer. In terms of swimming, How confident are you in your swimming abilities? Do you have any kind of favorite swimming technique?
I do have a favorite type that I swim with. A favorite type to swim, but I don't know what my swimming technique.
So Wei Chen Wang showing bunt here for Boonville. And over there at third base, it is Owen Burnsworth, so he's going to pinch in a little bit. 0-1 is Kempler going to check the runner down to second. Home with this one, check swing, and they say he did offer, got away from Dangler, the throw to third, Burnsworth with a good bat pit, but the damage is done. Both base runners have advanced, courtesy of the wild pitch. So you mentioned crop. What's crop? You want to tell me about crop?
Crop is a thing that you do when someone is busy or something, or like other stuff. Like crop is if someone is busy or someone is lazy to do something, and they just don't want to do all of the stuff that you need that day, so then they give you the crop for that day, and then they come and pick you up later.
Are you calling your parents lazy?
No, I'm not. It's just that some of my friends have parents that do that. So that's why I'm saying that.
So the count's 2-2 on Wang, and now he puts one third base side. Bateman off the glove, not going to get a throw off. That'll be an E6 to get Wei Chen Wang the bag, and also the run to score. It's Lute Piccone across his home, and Boonville going to have a 2-1 lead. So Acevedo stays put down there at second base on that one, but a good heads-up play to get on in the score. Jadson Williford, 2-1 score, just one away in the second inning. And Penelope, what's your favorite memory from Crop so far this summer?
Probably when I made a new friend, because it's really hard for me to make friends.
So the count's going to be 1-1 on Jadson Williford. And what's your new friend's name?
We became friends at the last second of Crop, so we couldn't ask each other what each other's name was. So I don't know.
That's okay. So the count's 1-2 on Jadson Williford. Base runners are at second and third. It's a huge swing and a miss. Going to send Jadson Williford down as he went hunting Caleb Kempler's fastball. So there's two down in the inning, and now it's going to be Carter Story.
University of Wisconsin Parkside, number 11, Carter Story.
And Penelope, coming here to Outlaws baseball games, what do you love about this atmosphere? What do you enjoy here?
I love that you can see the whole view of the game, and I also love how you can see the sky, because I really like how beautiful the sky is.
So Penelope loves how beautiful the sky is here in Oneonta. The 0-1, Storty going to shoot it on back into the screen, and so the count will drop to 0-2. In terms of talking about the sky, are you interested in, the sky and everything up there?
Well, I'm interested in what outer space looks like.
You're interested in what outer space looks like?
Yeah.
You ever used a telescope before?
No.
Okay. Maybe we'll have to try that. So the count's going to be 1-2. Storty with a high fly ball out towards the left center gap. Jacoby Dale charging over, looks up, and he's got it. And so that will be an F8 to end this top half of inning number 2. Boonville takes the lead as they go 2 runs on 1 hit, and the Outlaws do make an error. So coming up, Oneonta going to be looking to tie this thing back up or take another lead. Back here on Oneonta YouTube, bottom of the 2nd inning, Owen Burnsworth will lead things off for the Outlaws. And Penelope, you had a chance to talk to Martin Thorsland this afternoon. How fun was that?
That was pretty fun.
That one will come on in just above the shoelaces, and Burnsworth going to get ahead in the count 1-0. What was your favorite part of that whole experience, getting to talk to him as well as our Outlaw coaches?
That I got to meet some new people.
Did you learn anything about baseball or life lessons? I know you guys had a wide variety of questions. Counts now 2-1 here on Owen Burnsworth. Brody Raleigh and Jack Bateman will follow him.
I don't remember if I learned one. Because I don't remember what Martin's was. But then I already know the one that the coaches.
You could share that.
To never give up.
So Burnsworth is going to draw the walk, and Penelope, that's a prime example of not giving up. Our Outlaw batters always battle when they're at the plate. So Burnsworth draws the walk to begin the 2nd inning, and now Brody Raleigh going to get a chance to bat. The lights have come on here at Damaschke Field in the 2nd inning, and now a 2-1 Boonville score. Brody Raleigh facing Bryce Baskidlia for the first time this year, as he wasn't in the lineup when Baskidlia pitched in Game 1 of the doubleheader when the Outlaws were up there week after Father's Day. 0-1 going to be the count.
Oh gosh, they hit it out of dust. they hit it out into the parking lot.
So Raleigh smoked that one out to the parking lot. And Penelope, how fun is that being here at Damaschke Field and just watching where all these balls go and enjoying that?
It's pretty fun because I like when the ball is flying and then you get to learn where it's gonna go. I just like that for some reason. I don't know why. But I just like when the ball is flying and then you get to find out where it's gonna go.
So the count still 0-1 on Brody Raleigh. Burnsworth did advance over to second base, courtesy of an E1, so he's now in scoring position. Baskidlia Going to shoot a fastball on in there for a called strike. And so the count going to be 0-2. And Penelope, have you ever had the opportunity to get a foul ball at a baseball game you've been to? 0-2, shot out towards right center, caught on the run by Ethan Acevedo as he looked up and yanked it in the glove. So there's one down, and Burnsworth does tag on over to third.
Next up, the shortstop from Catholic University, number 14, Jack Bateman.
Yes, I have.
Do you keep it on your dresser? Do you keep it on your dresser? No? That's okay. Jack Bateman now to bat for the Outlaws. Burnsworth 90 feet away from tying this one up, and Bateman takes a called strike one. Boskidlia with his 0-1, going to sail on in tight to the knees as the count will even at 1-1. Penelope, what kind of sports do you play?
I play soccer, baseball, softball, and I play basketball.
What's your favorite sport to play besides baseball?
Soccer.
Soccer? What do you like about soccer?
What I like about soccer is that whenever I'm angry, I get to like kick the ball.
You get to kick the ball in your head. Do you get angry a lot? Do you have a temper? Is that what you're telling me?
No, I don't get mad easily. It's just that sometimes I get mad, like because sometimes my siblings wake me up just so I can go to a sport so that I do not.
Back to the top of the order we go with the designated hitter, number 1, Brendan
and
Kiley.
And that sometimes makes me mad. So yeah. So yeah. Then sometimes then later on when it's like that, when it's like soccer time, then I can kick the ball to release my anger.
So Penelope's releasing her anger when she plays soccer. Connolly takes a bigger ride for that one, and he tips it off the bat, and so the count will drop to 0-1. I have an older sister, so I know what's that like. She wakes me up sometimes, too. Connolly did ground out 3 unassisted his first time up back in the first inning. And coming up next inning, we'll have Penelope's sister, Francesca, joining us up here in the booth. As Connolly takes this one to first base, Hernandez flips it underhand to Boskidlia, and that will be a 3-1 to end the second inning. Penelope, it's been awesome having you up here. So that's going to wrap things up for our second inning. Boonville, a 2-1 lead in the third inning coming up next. Top of the third inning, back here at historic Damaschke Field in this huge East Division matchup. Colby Smith And we got another special guest with us this inning. You want to tell us who you are, how old you are, where you go to school?
I am Francesca Young. I'm turning 10 July 24th, and I go to Edmiston.
Well, on behalf, after pitching a third of an inning against Glens Falls last night, and it was a pretty rough outing. So, Francesca, what sports do you play, and what's your sports background like?
My favorite sport is soccer. My favorite sport is soccer, then basketball, and then softball.
Soccer, basketball, and then softball. What do you like about soccer? Your sister was saying she liked soccer too.
I like using my feet, and I like the sport in general. I like the teams normally, and my coaches that I've all had have been really kind.
So Hugo Conehorst with a leadoff single here for Boonville to start the third. And how does having a good coach for a sport really help you learn and grow as a player?
Because if you have better people, you'll play better, and maybe you'll listen more.
And so next year it's going to be Waldy Rodriguez. And talking about softball, I mean, how much do you enjoy, a sport like this that's so much more slower than a game like soccer or basketball?
Well, I enjoy being able to watch the game, and be able to take place in it, and
Goebel's 2-0, going to be shot up into the screen behind home, and so the count's going to be 2-1.
And I like to learn about new sports.
What's your favorite thing that you've learned about the game of baseball today from this whole experience?
My favorite thing I've learned.
So Dangler motion for the check swing, and indeed Waldy Rodriguez did swing at that one, and so the count's 2-2. Rodriguez going to poke this one out towards shallow right, drops in front of Ethan Glossa. Holding up his second going to be Hugo Conehorst, as that was a good throw from Glow to get that one back into the infield quickly. But back-to-back singles for Boonville here to start against Goebel.
My favorite thing I learned about this experience is probably because many people have different things that they like about doing these jobs.
Well, and what was it like getting to talk to Outlaws pitcher Martin Thorsland earlier?
I felt very nervous, but it was fun, and I liked learning what makes baseball so unique and fun to him.
So the count going to be 1-0 here on Josh Braxton, and he was showing bunt. And Keaton Mark and Josiah Asco, what'd you get out of that, talking to our coaches too?
I got that if you really like something, then you should go do it.
In terms of what you really like, what are some of the things that you really like other than sports?
I really like graphic novels, listening to my favorite artist, and drawing.
1-1, and the bunt thrown down. Goebel charges off the mound. Gun throw to first, waiting, lays out, and he's got it. A heck of a play over there at the first base pad for Connor Waiting. That will be a defensive play of the game candidate, as we'll score that one 1-3 for the first out, but both base runners do advance. So it's second and third with one away. And Francesca, you mentioned music, your favorite artist. Who's your favorite artist and why?
Many people don't know him, but CG5.
CG5, okay, why do you like CG5?
in 3rd grade, I had this teacher. I'm not going to say her name for many reasons.
Okay.
To keep her safe. And well, so she wasn't the best teacher I've had. Let's just say that. But during the hard times, we would get to listen to music, and I would listen to him, and he kind of helped me get through the year.
That's a good answer. I like that.
Thank you.
So the count's going to be 1-1 here on Alan Hernandez. Again, it's 2nd and 3rd for Boonville. Had a pair of singles to start this half inning if you're just dropping in. That one going to break tight to the hands, and that'll be ball 2 as Goebel's having a hard time finding the strike zone here in this inning. And school, what do you enjoy about the school year? What's your favorite subject in school?
My favorite subject is art, and my favorite thing in school is probably I really like the people there. They're much more kinder than any other schools I've been to.
3-1, Smo tying deep in the air to left field. Colton Harrison reaches up, and there it is. Tagging from 3rd, going to be Hugo Cohnhorst, and Boonville's lead now going to be 3-1 here in the 3rd. That'll be an F7 for the 2nd out, and Hernandez does pick up an RBI, so he's been very productive to start his night. Rodriguez still stays at 2nd, and now it's Garrett Lineberger. And you mentioned art. You talked about drawing. What are some of your favorite things that you've drawn so far?
The favorite things that I've drawn so far is probably family pictures or pictures with people who I care about, or maybe just random people or random things.
So that one, a little daisy cutter out to Jet Bateman at short. He's able to field it cleanly, getting it across the diamond. Nakano waiting at first. So that'll be a 6-3. The Lumberjacks do strand a base runner here in this top half of the 3rd, and they get another run courtesy of an RBI sac fly from Alan Hernandez. When we come back, it'll be our last half inning with Francesca. 3-1, Boonville has the lead. Bottom of the 3rd inning, 3-1 the score in favor of Boonville. Colby Smith and Francesca Young back here with you for another half inning. Francesca, Ethan Glossa leads off this half inning for the Outlaws here at Damaschke. Was talking about it with your sister, but what's it like being here at an Outlaws game, and what's your favorite thing about, coming to baseball games?
Do you do it every night?
0-1 comes on in high to Glow, and this will brush him on back as it counts 1-1. And ladies and gentlemen, this is Glossa's final game tonight, so he's trying to go out with a bang.
My favorite thing about baseball games is probably being able to meet more people or sit down and relax to enjoying the game, because I don't really like watching it on TV.
Glossa's going to come up with a big 2-base hit as he put that one over the head of Branson in right field, and it was able to roll all the way to the wall. So he immediately starts this inning with a big hit. And what do you feel like changes in terms of watching the game at home to watching here? What's so different for you in terms of enjoying it?
Well, at home, it's at home. We don't have as at home. It's not as fun because there's just a TV, and you just sit there and watch, and we don't. And normally, I'll have to sit on the ground.
Oh, man, do you not like sitting on the ground?
No.
What's your favorite spot to sit? Are you a couch girl or you a chair girl?
We actually don't have a couch anymore.
Dale drops that one into the gap in right center field. He's going to take a big turnaround first. Floss is going to stop at third, and the Outlaws are going to be in business here in the bottom of the third with runners at the corners. You don't have a couch, so what's your living room look like? What's your living room look like? What do you have? Couches? Well, if you don't have couches, do you have chairs? What do you have in the living room?
We have a TV hooked up to a PlayStation. We have a laying chair and one other chair, I think, and then everything else is just where we put bags on and ground room.
Jack Kopko going to foul one straight on back into the screen. He's singled in the Outlaws' only run back in the first inning thus far, so he's trying to start his day 2 for 2, and he's certainly been the Outlaws' most consistent hitter here recently. Dale's on the run down to second. Gun throw from Williford, going to skip in the dirt. Glossa was ready to run from second, but Dale does get the stolen bag, so the Outlaws now going to have 2 in scoring position as the count will be 1-1. And in terms of, sitting around at home, other than watching baseball, what's your usual go-to to watch in terms of TV shows or movies?
Well, I actually haven't watched a lot of things in a while. I've mostly been chilling out or outside.
Nothing wrong with that. It's the perfect time of year to be outside, and the Outlaws now with 2 in scoring position, 2-2 count on Hopko, and Buscaglia is going to opt to step off. Outlaws hoping to hold on to this playoff spot that they're in currently or move up in the Eastern Division standings. Is that one going to go up and away for ball 3, and the count run full on Jack Kopko. In terms of being outside, what are some of your favorite things to do outdoors?
I like to go visit my grandma and uncle because there's a hill that we go down inside our backyard, and then it's our grandparents' house.
So Hopko draws the walk, and now the bases are going to be loaded for Oneonta with nobody out here in the bottom of the third inning. Francesca, I don't know about you, but I can feel the energy here. The Outlaws hoping they can come up with something big. So Colton Harrison was hit by a pitch his first time up. Going to take a first pitch swing as he shoots this one off and up, foul. And that one drops in the ballpark, and so the count going to be 0-1. Francesca, other than Martin Thorsland, you got any other favorite Outlaws? Or are they all your favorites?
Oh.
They're all your favorites? Yeah, me too. So the count's 1-1 now here on Harrison. Connor Waiting is waiting on deck behind Harrison. Down are the Outlaws 3-1. Is that one going to be a slider that gets in low and in tight, so it'll be 2-1. Do you have any goals or big plans for the rest of the summer before you go back to school in the fall?
Well, we are planning on going to Water Safari soon. And my goal is to probably be able to read all of the chapters of the Cross Princess Club.
Okay. So the count's 2-2 here as Beskiddlia winds to Harrison, puts one out towards right field. Braxton takes a few steps back, looks up, and he pulls it out of the air. Gloss is going to tag from third. Dale's on his way to third. Gloss crosses the plate, and it's a one-run game as Boonville's lead cut to just 3-2.
Next up for your Oneonta Outlaws, number
Harrison
22,
gets the
Connor
RBI, sat
Brady.
flies. It'll be scored as an F9. So now it's runners at the corners. Dale's at third, and Hopko's going to be at first. And tell me a little bit about that series you're reading. What's that like, and who are the characters? Who's the favorites?
So the main character is Gwendolyn. They're all princesses. And so Gwendolyn gets arranged marriage with this guy named Frederick. And so one night, Gwendolyn overhears Frederick calling her ugly.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
So she runs into the Forbidden Forest and meets this club called the Cursed Princess Club.
The Cross Princess Club?
Cursed.
Okay, Cursed Princess Club.
And so there are all these princesses with different curses.
Wading pokes this one out to shallow left. Dale's going to come on in to score. Wading's going to pick up an RBI, and this game is tied here in the bottom of the third.
One of
The
them
Outlaws from stage number 3,
One of them turns
Darren
into a crow
Dangler.
when embarrassed. And another is like Pinocchio.
Pinocchio.
Yeah. But his nose doesn't get too big.
Oh, his nose doesn't get too big?
Yeah, I guess like this big.
Oh, man.
Not too big though. And there are some other characters, but there's so many I don't want to say all of them because that would take the entire time.
Well, we certainly got a little bit of time right now with a little mound visit going on. And you talked about princesses. My go-to to always talk about is Disney. Let's talk about Disney princesses. Who's your favorite Disney princess?
Ariel.
Ariel is your favorite Disney princess. Why is that?
I like her hair, and
So off of second base, going to be Jack Hopko. Wading's off of first. And our game is tied 3-3 as Dangler going to take one in high for ball one. Boonville is starting to get some action down in their bullpen. Other than The Little Mermaid and, of course, talking about Cinderella, you got any other favorite Disney movies?
I forgot what it's called.
That's okay. Out towards right, that one goes and gets caught by Braxton. And so there's two away. Oh, it's Descendants.
Yeah.
Okay. I like Descendants. I haven't seen that new Descendants movie yet. I think I'm gonna have to check that out. Have you seen them all?
No, I'm still looking on the newest one.
Okay. So we both haven't seen it yet. So good. You're not gonna give me any spoilers. I don't like spoilers.
Me either.
Okay. So there's two down, and Owen Burnsworth now to bat for the Outlaws. Again, our game is tied 3-3 as the Outlaws plate in two to tie things up. Burnsworth going to shoot one straight on back into the screen behind the plate, foul, and so it'll be 0-1. Got any other favorite movies besides those Disney movies?
Is an episode thing okay?
That's fine.
All
Anything.
of us are dead.
What's it called?
All of us are dead.
All of Us Are Dead. What's that? I've never seen that.
It's about zombies invading a school.
Oh, wow. I hope zombies aren't coming to invade your school in Edmiston. That would be bad.
I think they would go to Japan first.
They'd go to Japan first? That's a hot take. That is a hot take. So the count's 1-1 here on Owen Burnsworth. Beskiddlia with a big sigh out there on the hill. Winds and deals that one off the elbow of Burnsworth. That one's going to come.
As public address announcer, Easton.
And so Burnsworth going to get first base. Hopko advances to third. Wading's now at second, and Burnsworth at first. So, zombies. What do you think about with zombies? I mean, come on. You know, do they make you smile? Do they make you mad? What do zombies get you thinking?
So the zombies get me thinking.
What's their name so I can preview?
Ooh, they're scary.
If you know, just yell out.
So you think they're scary?
Well, sometimes.
Well, I don't think a zombie would ever walk up to you and give you a hug. That'd be kind of wild.
Yeah.
0-1 is the count here on Brody Rowley. Base is full for the Outlaws, who are trying to retake the lead. Rowley shoots one straight up the middle, rolls into center field, and Hopko's going to score. Wading's cruising on in right behind him. Williford, the throw's late, and the score is now going to be 5-3. All the way in the second comes Rowley as he gives the Outlaws a 2-run lead.
I think they would be too scary because they aren't too smart.
You don't think they're that smart?
Yeah.
What makes you say that?
Well, inside of all the movies with zombies I lost, they're attracted to sound. So if you made loud noise somewhere, they would go to the sound. So you could go somewhere else.
So you think if I started clapping over here that the zombies would go crazy and start walking elsewhere?
No, if they are attracted to noise.
So you think the zombies would come here?
Yes.
And you don't want me to attract the zombies, do you?
Yes, I do not want to.
Okay. Well, Boonville's going to make a pitching change, so we're going to step aside and take a quick break here. Outlaws 5-3 lead in the bottom of the third. Brody Rowley with a big hit to give Oneonta the lead back. Bottom of the third inning, still is this our longest half inning of the evening so far. Outlaws now a 5-3 lead as they've plated for Francesca and Colby back here with you. And Francesca, what a night this has turned it into. What have you seen from the Outlaws so far? Seen lots of good hits.
Yeah. I've seen many good hits, good pitches. Then again, hope it stays in. Hope the spirit stays with them.
I hope the spirit stays with the Outlaws, too. This is a crucial time. Off day tomorrow for the Outlaws, and then it starts the final week of the regular season on Monday. So the Outlaws certainly need some good spirits heading into this final stretch. Counts 1-1 on Jack Bateman. New pitcher for Boonville is Jin Chen. 5'11", 187, and he's already pitched against Oneonta once this year. That was way back on June the 5th in the first matchup of the season series between these two, as he took the loss that night, only lasted 4 innings in his first start. Chen's 1-1. Bateman out towards shallow right field, over the head of Hernandez. That drops. Burnsworth scores. Rowley gets on his horse, and he's right behind him. And it's now 7-3 Outlaws here in the third. Francesca, you said good hits and good spirits, and wow, how about that?
Well, that's good. Guess I didn't jinx it.
Well, hey, I've certainly played jinx for this team a number of times this year, so it wouldn't have been the first time somebody has. So 2-run scores, Owen Burnsworth and Brody Rowley cross the plate, and now Brendan Connolly steps up as he is the 10th Outlaw to hit here in this third. 7-3 now your score. Bateman's on the move. Is Connolly going to shoot this one off foul? 0-1. And Penelope, I know we had your sister up here, but tell me a little bit about your family. How many siblings do you have, and what are some of your favorite things to do as a family?
So, I have...
Ooh, she's counting them on her fingers, everybody. She's counting them on her fingers.
I have 6 siblings.
6 siblings. Who's the oldest? Are you the oldest?
No, Katie.
Katie?
She's not here with us tonight, though, because she has a different dad, and she's with her dad now.
Connolly drops this one in a shallow center, and so he has his first hit of the game. Bateman advances over to second, and so it's first and second here for the Outlaws, and now Ethan Glossa going to come to the plate for Oneonta. Glossa got this half inning started way back when. Seems like it was so long ago now that he came up here and got us started. 1-1 pitch. He blasted a double over the head of Braxton in right field. And he certainly has one of the more fun and electric walk-up songs on this Oneonta team, strutting the Yad Glow here in his final weeks in an Outlaw jersey. Bateman again is at second. Brendan Connolly at first. And that one, a little low slider for a called strike one. Jin Chen wrapped up his sophomore year at Minchin University, and he sports a 3.31 ERA entering this outing for Boonville. Takes a little glance over his shoulder down to second. Now the 0-1. Glossa right towards short, and it's caught on the liner by Piccone. Francesca, you've done a great job up here. It's been a pleasure having you.
Thank you.
So that's going to wrap up our third inning. The Outlaws now a 7-3 lead as the Outlaws played a half dozen. To the fourth we go. We will be right back. Top of the fourth inning, back here on Oneonta YouTube. And it's going to be Luke Pacone to start things off against Jordan Goebel, who remains out for another inning. First pitch going to be down and away for ball 1. Pacone walked his first time up on 4 pitches, also came in to score in that top of the second for Boonville, as he was the second run behind Alan Hernandez that half inning. Down and out, that one's going to be ball 2. Goebel, we talked about it. He threw a third of an inning yesterday at Glens Falls, got hit up a couple of times, gave up a couple of runs as well in the 8-3 Oneonta loss. Bounding ball to third. Burnsworth ranges to his left, over to Waiting, and that throw going to get all the way into the screen. And so Luke Pacone will be on base to start this 4th inning. He's going to get given second on the ball out of play, and that will be the second Outlaw error of the game. We go down to Ethan Acevedo, who's the 10-hole hitter in the lineup. Jordan Goebel is one of those guys in the Outlaw clubhouse who is certainly a fun presence, always smiling and always cracking jokes. Him and Joel Hayner are certainly quite the pair in terms of working out of the pen. Goebel did make a start for this team earlier on in the year, too, and he was a guy who Keaton Mark was talking about pitchers that need to step up in a big way these last couple of weeks. He was one that March cited specifically. Goebel with a throw, low to Waiting, and the Outlaws going to get robbed of one there, as they say that Acevedo beat that throw to the bag. Goebel shaking his head out there, as he clearly doesn't love that one. It will be an infield single for Boonville. So Acevedo now has 2 of those in the game. Both of his singles have not left the infield. So Pacone reaches courtesy of an E5, then Acevedo a single. Goebel trying to catch him on the base pass and can't. As Brody Raleigh looks like his foot got caught covering the second base bag as he's limping a little bit. So Acevedo runs himself right into scoring position as he gets second on the stolen bag. And so Boonville trying to answer right back here on the top of the 4th after the Outlaws take the big 7-3 lead in that bottom of the 3rd. Goebel bats it from the first base side. This one blasted out towards left. Harrison chugging on over, looks up, and he leaves his feet and makes the play. Tagging up from third, going to be Pacone. Acevedo's in the 3rd. Run is scored, and it's now 7-4 here in the 4th. First pitch hacking, retiring Wei Chen Wayne for the first out as he does pick up an RBI. He's been very productive in this game so far, which you like to see from your leadoff guy. Brian Fajardo's hoping that he can give this team a few more wins here in the back part of the schedule, trying to keep pace because the Lumberjacks not all so far behind the Outlaws in the Eastern Division standings, as Williford going to take one up and away for ball 1. Outlaws have gone cold here as of recently and trying to get that fire and energy back here in this last part of the schedule as Goebel now falls behind 2-0 on the pitch out. There's just one down here in this top of the 4th. 7-4 score. Lumberjacks have 3 hits and 2 errors in the field. Outlaws 7 runs, now on 7 hits with 2 errors. Is Oneonta hoping that they can clean things up out in the field the rest of the way? Down and in the dirt. That'll be ball 3. Is Goebel hoping that he can once again locate and get some pitches back in the strike zone. Outlaws do have action down in the bullpen behind Goebel as Caleb Kempler's start certainly didn't last the length anybody would have wanted. 3-0, sails in high to the hands for ball 4, and so Williford going to draw himself the walk. That'll make it 1st and 3rd here for Boonville, and Keaton Mark is walking out of the dugout. All of the Outlaw infield is coming in, and Goebel looking down towards the bullpen, wondering if his day is going to be over. Mark going to come on into this huddle. And it looks like Goebel's going to stay in this ball game at least for the time being. Definitely needs some innings out of him, His last couple outings haven't been all that he would have wanted. He's Goebel. All summer, he's had good stuff. Like, Goebel has been around the strike zone, time in and time out. He's a great pitcher, great guy. But just some breaks haven't gone his way. And this outing against Boonville, you know, not breaking his way to this point so far. Ahead of Carter Storty. So second base, the only bag open. And Carter Storty is 0 for 2. Storty, couple of skips right to short. Bateman with a turn. Raleigh back to first, and they get out of the inning. That'll be a beauty of a 6-4-3 double play, started by Jack Bateman, who's in an unfamiliar position there at short to begin with. So Boonville going to strand a pair on base. Into the bottom of the fourth we go. 7-4 going to be your score. Bottom of the fourth inning, and it'll be Jacoby Dale to lead things off for Oneonta, as it's going to be 2-3-4 to bat against none other than Jin Chen, who remains out on the hill. With his underarm slot, he bullets one in there for ball one. Jacoby Dale has reached base twice so far in this game, as he reached courtesy of an E5 back in the first inning. Then he singled, stole a bag, and also came in to score his last time up. Dale 1-0, going to pop one over the screen on this first baseline. Stays in the ballpark because the count going to drop even to 1-1. We did talk about it in the last half inning when we had Francesca up here, but Jin Chen has thrown against Oneonta once this year already. Is that one in tight to the knees of Dale, and the count's going to go 2-1. Back on June 5th, when Boonville was here for the first time this year, took a loss in that 11-7 Outlaw win. 4 innings, gave up 2 hits, was charged for 3 runs. 1 was earned as he walked 5 and struck out 1. 2-1 pitch from Chen. Dale, another high fly ball out towards right. Bradston getting on over there, loses the hat as that ball drops in foul territory a few inches to the right of that foul line. And so it'll be 2-2. And now Dale going to be looking for something to hit against Jin Chen to begin this Outlaw half of the fourth. Big bottom half of the third inning for this team as they pop up 6 runs, 6 hits. And all those runs did come with 2 outs, as Dale going to take this one off the hand, and so he will be given the first base bag. Dale being told that he has to stay. As he's arguing this one. Keaton Mark has walked in from the third base coach's spot to have a conversation with our own plate umpire. And Dale still standing there with plenty to say. Next up for the Outlaws will be Jack Kopko. So Dale will be called out as they say that he didn't move, whatever that counts for. So Jack Kopko next to bat for Oneonta. Hopko's been on base twice tonight himself. The lefty swinger just finished his sophomore year at URI as he takes that one down and out for ball one. Hopko, RBI single in the first inning. Watson scored a run in the third. As now Jin Chen's 1-0, going to go down and away for ball two. Hopko hoping that he can stay red hot here for this team in the back part of the schedule as he continues to lead this team in average. 2-0, going to go up and outside for ball three. Raised his average up above 400 with 3 hits the other night up at Mohawk Valley. Chen rots around his 3-0. Called strike one on the lower outside corner, and so it'll go to 3-1. Coming up here momentarily, we flashed our graphic already with the out-of-town games going on tonight. We'll take a rundown for the first time tonight of the PGCBI out-of-town scoreboard. 3-1, swing and a miss as Hopko got nothing but air on the swing. Base paths are empty here in the bottom of the fourth for the Outlaws. And the counts run full on Hopko. Chen bats at his payoff pitch. Shot on off diagonally behind the plate, just to the right of the Outlaw dugout on that third base line. Outlaw dugout is on the third base line with the Oneonta bullpen in left. Boonville takes the dugout on this first base side, and their bullpen down in the right field corner. We'll do the payoff again, Jin Chen. And Hopko once again with a diagonal off into the screen behind the plate. And so this will be pitch number 8 of the at-bat coming up. Hopko working Jin Chen deep. Hopko did have 2 hits off Jin Chen. First time Boonville was here, and that one, another bat to the screen, and so make it pitch 10 coming up. This is the final matchup here in 2024 between Boonville and Oneonta. Outlaws have taken 5 of the first 6. Last year, the season series did go to Oneonta 4-3 as well. Payoff offering, misses this time down and away. Hopko going to fire the bat away, and he's drawn his second walk of the game and is on base for the third time.
Next up, for your Outlaws from Northwestern State, number 33, Colton Harrison.
Colton Harrison with 1 on and 1 away. Going to come to the plate. Harrison trying to lock in and find a groove here, as he's been off for a handful of days and now slides back in. Big lead off of first for Hopko. Harrison takes a swing at the off speed, and he couldn't connect until to be 0-1. Harrison stands at 6'1", 215. We had him on our broadcast up there in Glens Falls yesterday, and if you want to hear a great color guy, Colton Harrison certainly has a future in the business if he doesn't end up playing pro. Harrison shoots this one off, and so the count's going to be 0-2, or even post that. He could have a career up here. Nobody better than Colton Harrison to do it up top. He just recently committed to Northwestern State as they have themselves a beauty of a ball player, but more importantly, a beauty of a human headed their way. 0-2, Hopko dancing off the bag as that one misses low and away outside, 1-2. Off of first again is Jack Kopko. It's Harrison, 1-2, straight up the middle, ranging from short. Piccone underhand, Hernandez back to first in time. As they're able to flip the inning ending, 6-4-3 double play. Piccone to Rodriguez to Hernandez. They get the job done. So Harrison going to be retired for the second straight time. Into the fifth inning we go. Going to be 7-4, Outlaws lead. Top of the fifth inning for Boonville. It's going to be 4 or 5 sets to bat against Jordan Goebel, who remains out on the bump for the Outlaws. Just 3 hits for the Jets so far on the offensive side of the ball as Goebel's first pitch of the inning down the third baseline, went into foul territory, and Owen Burnsworth, certainly great defensive stop to not let that one roll any further. If that ball had been in fair territory and he made a play like that, we would have said there's a defensive play of the game candidate. But we can't say anything about a foul ball like that other than Owen Burnsworth always hanging it in there. As that one swinging a miss, and Conor's going to trail 0-2. Burnsworth playing the infield for the first time in a bit for Oneonta tonight. Is Goebel, the 0-2 offering, going to sail on in tight to the knees for ball 1. Conor's 1 for 2 to start the game. Struck out swinging in the first, singled and scored a run in the third. Bat set on the first base side, 1-2. Shot up through the middle. Rowley takes it on the one hop to throw to Waiting in the dirt. And they're going to call safe at the first base bag. Brody Rowley has a cannon over there at second base. His primary position is the outfield, and so he's making that adjustment to play infield for the Outlaws for the first time in a bit. I think the last time he played second base was just before Nick Del Vecchio got into town, so it's been about a month since we've seen Brody Rowley on the infield for Oneonta. Outlaws certainly trying to fill some holes in any way they can with a couple of infielders that have gone down. Brendan Connolly got hurt earlier on in the summer, so you lost a guy who looked like he was going to play his way into the almost everyday shortstop role. You lost Kyle Kakamis due to forearm tendonitis, and he's no longer with us. There's now the 0-1. Up over the screen on the first baseline, and it's 0-2. Also, Tanner Harden, who was here, had to go to Wofford, moving in for a summer class. Shout out to Harden, Condon, and Grantham. I know sometimes they check in, so if any of our Wofford fellas are watching tonight, big hello to you guys. So the count going to be 0-2. Is Goebel, first base side. Slow chopper up past the diving Burnsworth and Bateman in the left. And Boonville going to have back-to-back on base to start the fifth. It'll be two in a row that have singled. And now Goebel going to hope to find an out some way. Braxton has started 0-2 today. He struck out swinging in the first, grounded out 1-3 his last time up in the third. Shows bunt on this one. Burnsworth was charging in, as it will be a 1-0 count. They say he yanked that bunt back in time. As Goebel going to take a quick glance to second. And now is 1-0. Shot down the first baseline. Goebel dives. It's off the webbing of his glove as he's unable to fill that one cleanly. Would have been a tough play to begin with. And so, Cohnhorst is getting to third. Rodriguez to second. And Braxton's at first. And the bases are full for Boonville with nobody out. Jordan Goebel, that just shows the kind of heart and grit he has out on the mound out there, running for a ball like that, trying to make a play that would have been also tough, looked like one that was right in his wheelhouse and just came up short on. Alan Hernandez going to lay off the first one as he's got the bright red end of the bat as it's a 1-0 count. Brian Dangler rushes out of the Outlaw bullpen, and out of the Outlaw dugout, and he's running down towards the bullpen. 1-0, comes in hands high, and that'll be ball two. Outlaws, no matter how many arms it takes to get through this one, at least they're the benefactors of an off day tomorrow, but then things going to get real busy real fast for the final part of the schedule with a 7-7 to wrap things up starting Monday. 2-0 from Goebel. Elevator shot on the right side of the infield, waiting up in the lights. Has this one. As that'll be a P3 for the first out. Took a few steps over in foul territory, and he was able to yank it out of the air. And so there's one down ahead of Garrett Lineberger, who's been retired twice so far. Lineberger flashing an all-white batting helmet for Boonville. Is this one foul ball over the bleachers on the first baseline? Is the count going to be 0-1 with still the bases loaded here in the fifth? Outlaws have put up double digits on Boonville 3 times in the season series so far. As entering this one, runs did favor the Outlaws in the season set 57-27. Only time that Boonville won was here on July 2nd in a 12-9 victory that was a nitty-gritty back-and-forth kind of game as the count's drawn to 1-1 now on Lineberger. Final week, Outlaws going to see Mohawk Valley a couple times. We'll also have a date with Utica, Glens Falls game twice, and another matchup with Watertown. It's the 1-1 up over the screen. Looking, that one going to take a hop. It gets out to the parking lot. It'll be 1-2. Is Goebel looking for a put-down pitch. Goebel bat set from the first base side. His 1-2. Pounded over to Bateman at short. Flips it to Raleigh. Back over to Waiting. In time. The 6-4-3 double play gets the Oneonta defense out of the inning, and Jordan Goebel is fired up as we are now halfway home in this one. 7-4, Oneonta going to be your score, and the Outlaws back to the plate when we come back. Bottom of the fifth inning, the Boonville Lumberjacks take a goose egg on their half of the scoreboard for the first time since the top of the first in the top half of the frame. Outlaws back to the plate, hoping to put up some more runs. Jin Chen stays out and waiting, going to shoot one straight on bat foul to start this half inning. Darren Dangler and Owen Burnsworth will be up behind him. Is Jin Chen, we mentioned it last half inning, but he throws from that underhand arm slot, also deceptive and putting pitches in the zone. Is waiting, now going to drop down 0-2 with one back to the matting behind the plate yet again. Waiting did have a hit, an RBI, and a couple of strikeouts the other night against Mohawk Valley. Had the off day yesterday, and now back in is Chen working on the hill, 0-2, swing and a miss. It's waiting, going down, hunting that lower outside corner pitch. And then Darren Dangler exchanged a quick word. And now Darren Dangler gets to bat. So we did promise a look at the PGCBL out-of-town scoreboard for the first time, and here it is. Bottom of the seventh inning in Jamestown, the Red Wings have a 9-4 lead on the Tarpscons. Buffalo Diesel playing a non-league game with Niagara Falls tonight. That was a 6:35 start, and it is just a 7-inning game. Bottom of the seventh in Batavia, the Mutt Dogs, a 7-0 lead on the Doubledays in a matchup that's pretty crucial for the Western Division side of the standings. Bottom of the eighth in Utica after a Mohawk Valley walk-off win last night. That one's tied up at 2 apiece. Again, bottom of the eighth in that one. Bottom of the fifth in Saugerties, the Stallions, a 3-1 lead on the Dragons. And then last but not least, Elmira, an 8-5 advantage in the top of the fifth out at Colburn Park against the Newark Pilots. 1-1, Dangler took a hack and couldn't connect on the fastball. So the count going to be 1-2. Dangler, you heard from him pregame today. He talked about how he's been in there the last couple of times. The Outlaws have had suspended games, which have now gone canceled games here at Damaschke. As the 1-2, he lays off, and that will be ball 2. He was behind the plate for both that suspended game against Glens Falls as well as the one against Mohawk Valley. And the league has now opted no doubleheaders after today, and so those games will not be finished. 2-2. Over towards short, Piccone fields that one cleanly. Over to first, great stretch by Hernandez, and that's a 6-3 for the second out. So Dangler's retired for the second time in the game. And Owen Burnsworth hoping that he can keep this inning going. Pretty tight contest midway through for the third consecutive tie between these two East rivals. Things are starting to build up between these two the last couple of years as season series seem to go Oneonta's way time in and year out when this organization used to be the Adirondack Trailblazers, but following the rebrand, Boonville and Oneonta playing some tight season series numbers these last 3 years. Is Jin Chen takes a step on bat, now the 0-1, Burnsworth catches it off the odd part of the bat. And so it'll be 0-2, and Jin Chen one good pitch away from getting out of this fifth inning. Oh, 2 is Jin Chen going to take a quick step back, fires that one. Burnsworth with a high fly ball up. And that one going to take a skip behind the bleachers on the first base side and once again get out to the parking lot. Is every kid in attendance here on Mellon Crockett Pharmaceutical Night as well as Catskill Little League Night going to go racing for that ball. Huge crowd here tonight, probably the biggest we've had since the 4th of July, which is nice to see. Is Burnsworth going to be caught looking for one on that lower outside corner. So he takes the backwards K. Jin Chen gets his first 1-2-3 inning. Into the 6th we go. Going to be a 7-4 Oneonta lead. Top of the sits back here on Outlaws YouTube. We want to remind you to subscribe today if you haven't already at Oneonta Outlaws PGCBL right here on YouTube, because all our games, home and road, with the exception of our trips to Mohawk Valley, Utica, and Boonville, streamed right here for you. And we've got a handful of broadcasts still to come over the final week of the season, and hopefully some playoff broadcasts to come as well, as this one over to Burnsworth at third. High throw, waiting jump, slips the tag on. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is why Connor Waiting plays such great defense at first. Jumps up, yanks that ball down, and still able to stay with it, knowing where the base runner is to slap that tag on. So there's one away, with Lute Piccone retired for the first time in this game, and Ethan Acevedo, who's down on the 10 spot, now in the box. Acevedo, one of 3 lefties in the lineup, is at one. Going to miss downstairs and out for ball 1. One-0. Called strike as the count's going to be 1-1. Coming up in the bottom half of the inning, we'll talk about the Eastern Division standings and the implications going into the final week of the regular season. Is a huge swing and a miss as Goebel went back to his fastball, and it'll be 1-2. Goebel is going to be losing one of his roommates tomorrow, with Ethan Blossa heading on out of here. He'll be driving back to Illinois. It's been a blast having Glow here in Oneonta this summer, as that one pitch out play down and out, so it'll be 2-2. Joel Hayner, Logan Marquez, Ben Gilbert also sharing the Goebel basement this summer as well. Is the 2-2. Upstairs and away, ball 3 as it's run back full. The Outlaw defense worked out of a big jam last time Boonville was at the plate, which was the 5th. As the bases were loaded, nobody out, and they got out of it with no runs. But base runner going to reach with Ethan Acevedo taking the walk. So he'll be on with just 1 out. So back to the top of the order we'll go. This Boonville Lumberjacks team is going to get an off day tomorrow, just as the Outlaws are. Then they're going to turn around and play Monday night at Amsterdam at 6:45 before they get their last off day on Tuesdays. They'll be playing straight Wednesday to Sunday. First pitch swinging, got underneath this one, is out in right field. That one's caught by Glossa. Had to take just 2 quick stutter steps to his left, and he's able to crank it down. So Wei Chen Wang going to be retired, courtesy of the F9. And there's 2 away, headed Jackson Williford. Williford has walked twice and also has struck out in this game. The strikeout was sandwiched in between the 2 walks. Big lead off of first for Ethan Acevedo as Goebel going to shoot one in down off that lower outside, and it'll be 1-0. Williford, the biggest catcher in terms of stature-wise on this roster for Boonville, also has played the most games, is the 1-0 in fair territory. Goebel off the left of the mound over to Waiting, and that ends the inning. 1-3 is Jordan Goebel. Great heads-up fielding play, gets the job done. They strand the want to Ethan Acevedo on the base paths, and to the bottom of the 6th, going to be 7-4, Oneonta score. First pitch, Hacken going to go out towards right center, and that one caught on the run. Great play made by Jack Hopko in the gap, as that will be scored as an F8, and there's 2 quickly away. Well, now that ball getting powered back to the infield and drilled over to first. And so Hopko going to double off Jacob Hand over there for an 8-3 for the 3rd out. So the Dragons leadoff single going to be retired, and we are going to go to the top of the 2nd here on YouTube with your score, 0-0. Bottom of the 6th inning, Jin Chen remains on the bump for Boonville. It's his first pitch to Raleigh, high in the air, out towards left field. Chugging back goes away. He looks up, and that one's over the fence. Brody Raleigh over the left field fence, going to make it an 8-4 game here in the 6th. Brody Raleigh with an absolute missile over the left field fence as he got all of that one. And now Jack Bateman going to bat. He's just 1 for 2 on the day so far. First one he takes is down and away for ball 1. Chen's 1-0, swing and a miss. As the count's going to be 1-1. Chen, bat set with a 1-1. Bateman with a high fly ball, right side of the infield in foul territory. Williford dropped the mask, and he's got that one. As he pulled it down from over his shoulder. It'll be a P2, and there's 1 away behind that Raleigh home run. Back to the top of the order we go. Is Brendan Connolly, the next man to bat for the Outlaws. Connolly broke himself out a bit of a slump his last time up as he hit a single in the 3rd after bat-to-bat putaways to start this game, following his 0 per day the other night as the DH at Mohawk Valley as well. Jin Chen's first one to him. Connolly with a swing out to right. Braxton races in, and he's got it. Braxton drifted up a few jogging steps, and he makes the play as that'll be an F9 for the second out. And now it's going to be Ethan Glossa. We said we'd talk you through the Eastern Division standings, so let's do that now. Top of the division, it's the Amsterdam Mohawks. They're 36-0 and have won 3 straight. Then it's Saugerties, who are 25-9-2. Mohawks in 3rd is Chen's first pitch to Glossa. Brought that bat off the shoulder, but not around enough, as it'll be 1-0. Diamond Dogs' record is now 20-14-3, and they've won 2 straight. Utica in the 4th place spot, 19-16-1. They've won 7 of their last 10. Glossa going to take the 1-0, tight to the knees, and that'll be ball 2. Watertown Rapids have slid up to 5th place after spending much of the early part of the schedule down, hovering around the 7-8 spots. They're 17-1 after tying Boonville 2-2 yesterday. 2-0, swing and a miss, as that'll move the count to 2-1. Rapids get the off night tonight, but they'll be back in action tomorrow. Outlaws are in the 6th place spot, holding sole possession of the last playoff spot in the East at the moment. Chen's 2-1. Glossa up over the screen on the first baseline. That one again will stay in the ballpark, and so it'll be 2-2. Outlaws hoping that they can catch Watertown, as it's a matter of percentage points to get into the playoffs. Watertown's win percentage is a .514. Outlaws is .469 at the moment. So could still be done to get on up a few places more for Oneonta. Just got to get hot here in this last part of the season. Boonville's in 7th, 10-23-1. Albany and Glens Falls, both 8-25-1, but it's Albany who's ahead of Glens Falls as they've taken 3 of the games in that season series, which is the tiebreaker. Full count pitch. Going to miss down and away. And so Ethan Glossa draws the walk, and he's on base for the 3rd time tonight. Jacoby Dale back to the plate for the Outlaws with 2 away here in this bottom of the 6th. Dale was called out his last time up in that batter's box as he took one off his hand, but they say he didn't move. So that was how that all went down. Turns on one immediately and cranks it up and out of here in foul territory. So it'll be 0-1. Over in the West Division, in case you were curious, the leaders at the top are Batavia Mutt Dogs. They're 26-7-1, but have lost 2 in a row, and they have Auburn in there tonight, who are in 2nd place, so that was a big game. Is that one going to miss low and away outside? 1-1. Is Jin Chen went back to his slider. Only 4 teams make the playoffs in that division, so Geneva, Newark, and Niagara Falls, the 3 looking on the outside in over there. Dale takes another one downstairs and away for ball 2. Now West Division, 1 place 4. Dale with his feet spread far apart. Waves that bat around like a magic wand. Quick look over the shoulder, Jin Chen to first. On the move is Glossa as Dale swinging a miss. Not going to count for anything, though. Is the strikeout going to be a swinging K? So we're through 6 here in Oneonta. The Outlaws going to strand another on the base pass. Brody Raleigh, though, adds another run to the score column with a home run over the left field fence. And so we will go to the top of the 7th. 8-4 Oneonta is your score. Jordan Goebel has now pitched 4 innings for your Outlaws, and he is going to start off another one. Here in the 7th, it's Carter Storty to lead things off for Boonville. 6 hits with 2 runs, both charges earned is the line for Jordan Goebel thus far. And he's hoping to keep that intact and add another inning on that left side of the score column. Carter Storty 0 for 3 to begin the ball game. First pitch swinging, finds a hole on the left side as that one rolls into left. He'll take the turnaround first, and he's got a single to begin the Boonville half of the inning. Josiah Aska walks out of the Oneonta dugout, and he'll take a seat back to the right of the dugout. Most of the Oneonta team that is not in action is down in the bullpen in left field tonight, hanging out with the Outlaws relievers and starters who are not pitching tonight, of course. Big lead for Storty as that one going to take a bad skip off Burnsworth. Bateman able to keep it on the infield, but the damage is done at that as there will be 2 on base here for Boonville as they score that as a single. So 2 straight infield singles, and now Waldy Rodriguez going to walk to the plate. Rodriguez, one of Boonville's players who just wrapped up a senior season and is going to be heading into his freshman year as he's going to be down at NJIT starting this fall. 8-4 Outlaws lead now here in the 7th inning. Goebel looking down towards second. Rodriguez puts the bunt right in front of the plate. Dangler charged up. Goebel got to it first to waiting in time. As it's another 1-3 gun out in favor of Jordan Goebel. Both base runners advance, though, as Doherty gets to third. Conor's now to second, and Josh Branston is the next to hit. Branston 1 for 3 on the ball game thus far. Struck out swinging in the first, grounded out 1-3 in the third, and then singled and was forced out. 6-4 is the first part of a double play that Garrett Lineberger grounded into. Goebel with a great breaking pitch in there for a called strike one. Goebel's really gotten his off-speed working here after a rough first inning or two with that. Now working more out of a stretch position, the 0-1. Poked up over the screen on the first baseline, once again behind the bleachers. It takes a hop to the parking lot, so it'll be 0-2. As if you've never been here to Damaschke Field, we've got some bleachers on each baseline and quite a bit of room behind where fans walk and whatnot, and then the parking lot right behind the ballpark, or right out in front of the ballpark, whatever you'd like to say. Is Goebel now ahead 0-2. Kicks home, swing and a miss. Is Josh Branston going to be retired via the strikeout for the second time in this game. And Goebel is now sent down 2 straight. And next up is Alan Hernandez.
First baseman from Mineral Area College, number 34, Alan Hernandez.
His Boonville team has gone just 4-11 on the road so far this season. Overall mark is 10-23-1, as you've probably seen and heard already. Goebel going to offer one in high, and a called strike one it is. Kind of think that the Leafs probably going to be getting short on Jordan Goebel, who's trying to finish off a 5th inning behind Caleb Kempler, who only went 2 frames for Oneonta tonight. Gave up 2 runs, no hits, but both were charges earned courtesy of walks and a couple of hit-by pitches over the first 2 frames. 0-2, now going to be our count. As Goebel needs one more to get out of this half inning. It's Doherty at third, and Conorst is down at second. As Goebel bat set, fires in. Just off that upper outside corner, and it'll go to 1-2. At bats being flared around by Hernandez, who does have an RBI and a run scored in this game already. Goebel bats at the 1-2 in the dirt, and that one did clip off the bat. And so Hernandez gonna get to see the light of day at least one more time. So 1-2 count is Jordan Goebel trying to put us to the 7th inning stretch here at Damaschke Field. 4th to last home game for the Outlaws. There's only 3 more times to see your team at home here in the regular season. 1-2 pitch again. Once again off the end of the bat. That one comes straight into Dangler's face mask. And Keaton Mark going to walk out and make sure Darren's all right. Darren's a trooper behind the plate. Didn't look like it didn't even phase him that much, as he's just going to settle right back into his crouch. Can't say enough nice things about Darren Dangler and the kind of person he is. Darren, super fun guy to be around. One of the nicest humans I think I've ever met in my life. 1-2 from Goebel. Hernandez, another foul tip. That one's going to go into the screen on the third baseline. And so it'll stay a 1-2 count. Monday night we'll be here against Mohawk Valley for a 7 o'clock first pitch. Glens Falls is going to be here Wednesday. And then the home finale will be on Friday night against Mohawk before 2 games on the road at Glens Falls Saturday and at Watertown Sunday. Wrap things up here on the regular season schedule. So we'll once again do the 1-2. Is this going to be the 7th pitch of the at-bat between Goebel and Hernandez. Goble's pitch going to skip low and away outside, and it'll be ball 2 as it sprayed up a bit of dust. Boonville's dugout telling Hernandez to try to win this battle because they certainly need some momentum to turn their way down 4 in the bat stages of this ball game on the road. Goble now with the count at 2-2, kicks and fires, and Hernandez another foul ball as he just does not want to go down. Pitch 9 of this at bat coming up, and again you got to think with Jordan Goble now at 4 2/3 innings and that pitch count climbing by the second, this is probably going to be his last inning. Goble would be out of the question to pitch for a couple of days as well. As now is 2-2. Hernandez again behind the plate foul. So this will be pitch number 11 to the at-bat coming up. Keaton Mark walking out some baseballs to our home plate umpire. And now we're ready to do it again. 2-2 offering, sails in hand high. His Goble thought maybe he could catch him off guard with that one, but nonetheless, it's still a full count. Well, now it's a full count actually, but count's still hanging in there. So we'll get a payoff pitch from Goble, trying to put down Alan Hernandez with 2 away here in this top of the 7th. With the count jacked, Hernandez right towards third, takes a skip. Burnsworth Fields over to waiting in time, as that's a 5-3. Finally, after 11 pitches, Alan Hernandez is retired. And ladies and gentlemen, how about Jordan Goble? Now 5 innings, a 2-run ball. Into the bottom of the 7th we go. Going to be 8-4. Outlaws score. Bottom of the 7th inning, Jack Hopko, Colton Harrison, Connor Waiting against Jin Chen, who stays on out. He's gone 3 1/3 himself, so the bullpen certainly making their presence known in this Saturday night contest ahead of an off day for both teams tomorrow. 1-0 now the count on Hopko. 1-0 now the count on Hopko. He's been on base all 3 times he's come on up. Now going to take a strike that dropped off on that bottom outside corner. Hopko lighting up Boonville for now 5 hits in the season series. Also has taken 5 watts if you include his 2 tonight, and he's going to jump on back as the count moves to 2-1. In the 8th inning, we'll take another look at the out-of-town scoreboard. It's got to stay curious about how things are going between Mohawk Valley and Utica, as that's another big game in the standings tonight. Down and out, that one will miss, as it's now a 3-1 count to Hopko. Chen working from the first base side here for Boonville on the road. It's Hopko on a diagonal back into the screen behind the plate, and the count's run full. So in the final week, the schedule for the Outlaws is going to be home against Mohawk Valley Monday. Tuesday night will be at Mohawk Valley. Wednesday we're home against Glens Falls as the payoff pitch sprayed on bat foul yet again by Hopko. Thursday will be at Utica. Friday another home game against Mohawk, which is the home finale as well. Saturday going to be at Glens Falls, and then Sunday at Watertown. So that's the final 7 games in a nutshell for these Outlaws. With the count juice, that one going to miss down and away for ball 4. So Jin Chen going to give up the leadoff walk to start the 7th inning ahead of Colton Harrison. And we said it last time that Colton Harrison was, playing Boonville, that when he had his birthday, he certainly gave this team fits. 5 for 6 in that game. Got walked in that doubleheader as he played both games. He was the extra hitter in one game and then played the outfield in the other. And he had 2 doubles, a couple of homers as well. And he took that one for a strike 1 as he couldn't connect on it. Actually, it was 3 doubles and 2 home runs. My apologies. So 0-1. Hopko's on the run, down and away. Williford loses the mask as Hopko going to get into second successfully. So he gets the bag, running himself into scoring position, and the count going to be 1-1. In case you were wondering, we've said quite a few times this summer, the key number for this Outlaw team is 8. And why, you may ask? This team is 11-1-1 when they score 8 runs or more. And now that they've put up 8, Harrison with a ball out on the right side in foul ground, 1-2. Trying to get back in the win column for the first time since the Boonville Lumberjacks were last here. It's been a minute since the Outlaws have won a ball game. As the count's still 1-2. Looking down towards second. Jin Chen is Hopko daring him to throw. Harrison puts that one off his shoulder and in play, but it is a foul ball. So we'll do it all over again. Harrison has a hit by pitch in this game. That's the only time he's been on. Also has an RBI sat fly to his credit on the day. Harrison looks on out towards the second base bag. 1-2. Called strike 3. He's going to take that one looking in. Colton, with the great sport that he is, not even going to give our own plate umpire a word. Walks back to the dugout ahead of Connor Waiting. Waiting got his classic breakfast sandwich from Dunkin' and his orange juice prior to game time today, so he's locked in, dialed in, and he's 1 for 3 to start tonight, trying to come up with another hit as he's got a runner in scoring position. He goes for that sweet black pepper bacon on the everything bagel is what he told me. It's Hopko on the move towards third. Williford not even going to attempt the throw, and so that's 2 stolen bases for Hopko as he gets to third. So Waiting ahead in the count, 1-0. Is this one out towards right field in foul territory? We'll see where it drops, and it'll take a bounce and get past the fence. So the count is going to be 1-1. Boonville, only 2 more home games remaining after tonight, as they've been home quite a bit over the last several weeks. So they get the unfortunate thing of having just two of their last 8 games, on their home field. That one going to come on tight to the knees, and the count's gone to 3-1. So Chen, toes pointed to third, 3-1, out towards short, takes a bad bounce past Piccone into the left center gap. Wading's going to pick up another RBI, and it's 9-4 Outlaws here in the 7th. So another RBI single for Connor Wading. He's got 2 of those in the game, and he is dialed in tonight. Darren Dangler now nets to hit for the Outlaws. Dangler looking to first. Is that one going to come on in tight to the hands for ball 1? Over the shoulder, Jin Chen takes a glance. Dangler going to put it to the mat behind the plate, and the count will go to 1-1. Burnsworth will bat behind Darren Dangler in the 7th inning for the Outlaws. Jin Chen with an ERA just over 2 at Minchin U this year, and has continued his dominance this summer as that one out in the shallow left falls in, and Darren Dangler has snapped his hitless streak. He's got a single, and there's 2 on base now for Burnsworth. That one just barely left the infield. A few steps back of the dirt, it fell in, and that's prime hit them where they ain't baseball for Darren Dangler. Is that exactly what you want to see? So Burnsworth will settle into the box. And he's going to take one in just above his shoelaces, as that'll be ball 1. Burnsworth so far in this game walked, hit by a pitch, has scored a run, and he also struck out once. His Chen going to glance on down to second. 1-0 pitch, Burnsworth hammered towards third, scooped up by Lineberger, played a second, turned back to first in the third, and the call is out. Burnsworth just could not get down the line in time as Rodriguez put the cannon in motion. He gunned that one to first, and so it'll be a 6-4-3 double play, which ends the Outlaw threat in the 7th. To the top of the 8th we go. 9-4 Oneonta, going to be your score. New pitcher for the Oneonta Outlaws to start this top half of the eighth. Going to be none other than Darren Dangler, as him and Darren hoping they can play some catch. 9-4 score in favor of the Outlaws. It's Garrett Lineberger who starts things off. Breaking pitch, going to pound that upper inside, and it'll be a 0-1 count. 0 for 3 is Lineberger so far in this one. It's a huge swing and a miss. Going to make the count now 0-2. Dangler with a 3.75 ERA for the Outlaws so far. 6 games, and he last pitched way back on July 1st against Watertown. Is that one on back into the matting behind the plate as well. And so it'll stay 0-2. Actually, his last outing was on July 6th against Glens Falls, but that outing was incorrectly put in the scorebooks as Adam Champlin. So the 0-2, straight on back into the mat again, and so 4 straight by Garrett Lineberger, and Dangler trying to shake off that outing against Glens Falls as well. That Watertown game, he was brilliant. Took a player of the game nod that night. 3 hits, 1 run. It was charges earned. 3 walks and 2 Ks. 0-2, gonna miss down and away off the lower outside, and it'll be 1-2. Back-to-back appearances for Dangler. Did he pick up player of the game honors? Is the 1-2. In there high and tight for ball 2. Dangler, great arm out of this Oneonta bullpen. Made a start for this team earlier on in the season as well, back in the middle part of June. His 2-2. Sails in high for ball 3 as he couldn't get the off speed to break back over the plate. So the count full. Is that one high and in for ball 4? So Garrett Lineberger going to get on base, courtesy of the walk. And now Luke Piccone going to come on up. Luke Piccone trying to slap the bunt down. Darren Dangler caught it on the run. And that will be a great P2 to retire Piccone. Dangler sprung right up, throwing that mask off, and made that play. That was a brilliant play by the young catcher. Ethan Acevedo. Now with 1 on base and 1 out. Incidentally, what Brian needed was hoping that he could get an out in some quick way, and he certainly got one with Piccone being retired on 1 pitch. Answers right back with a strike on Acevedo. He's been on base all 3 times tonight. A pair of singles, also a walk. Also has 2 stolen bases and an RBI. Took a big hack and couldn't connect, and so he'll be down 0-2. Is Dangler really mixing around this arsenal here so far in this outing? Got to think with the Oneonta bullpen totally quiet, Dangler going to be on tap to throw the 9th as well as a swing and a miss. Going to retire Acevedo. Dangler went to that off-speed up and out, and there's 2 away for now the top of the order. Wei Chen Wang, who's been on base twice, also retired twice, courtesy of flyouts. He'll take one off the upper outside corner, and it'll be 1-0. Boonville and Oneonta both off tomorrow. Lumberjacks will go to Amsterdam Monday, and the Outlaws going to be home Monday night against Mohawk Valley. Little chopper over to third, skipped away from Burnsworth. Bateman not going to be able to get a throw off. That was a good backup by the shortstop. We'll give that as an E5 to Owen Burnsworth over there at the hot corner. So Lineberger gets to second, And Wei Chen Wei now going to stand at first. So Jansen Williford with 2 on base, 2 outs. Good breaking pitch for a called strike. As Dangler, if Burnsworth had made that play, would have gotten out of this inning, but instead it keeps on going. Burnsworth a little rusty over there at third. Lunges to his left this time, trying to recover over to first, not going to be in time. And so that going to be an infield single for Jansen Williford, and now the bases are loaded. As we said, a little rusty and shaky over there at third base. He does have a couple of errors in this game, and Burnsworth hoping that he can settle back in and make a couple or any plays that he has to make here over the last part of this one. So it's Carter Storty. He's 1 for 4, and he's one of the hardest hitters in this lineup. Going to take one just off the upper outside corner as the count going to move 1-0. Two and 0 now going to be the count. Storty flaring that bat around up on the shoulder. Is this one poked out towards left? Harrison chugging in. Is that one going to fall in front? 2 runs have scored for Boonville, and it's now a 9-6 game here in the 8th. Garrett Lineberger and Wei Chen Wayne both able to score. Jansen Williford stops at second, and it's Hugo Conors now with 2 on base. That one going to be a called strike. Hits are 10 apiece now here in this top of the 8th inning. Down and out, that one will miss low, and it'll be 1-1. Dangler is 1-1 offering. Called strike up and in, as it'll go to 1-2. Dangler hoping to get one more good one, get out of this inning, but instead skips one in the dirt, and that'll be ball 2. So the count going to be 2 balls and 2 strikes. It's a huge swing and a miss, going to get him out of the inning. Dangler went fastball up and in. Hugo Conors can't connect. And 2 going to be left on base for the Jets, but not before they played a pair. 9-6 going to be your score. And bottom of the 8th coming straight up. 9-10-1 to bat here for Oneonta, bottom half of inning number 8 back here on Outlaws YouTube. So that means it's Brody Rowley to start things off. He homered against Jinchen on the first pitch to the bottom of the 6th inning as the Outlaws have put up a 1 in each of the last 2 half innings. 1-0 going to be the count as that one missed down and away. We do have a couple of finals now here in the PGCBL tonight as the 1-0 going to come on in tight to the knees for ball 2. Bottom of the 9th inning in Jamestown, 10-7. The Red Wings have the lead on the Tarpskuns. Buffalo and Niagara Falls in that non-league game, the Americans take the win. 2-0, now going to come on in high, and the count's gone 3-0. Final in 7 innings in Batavia, Mutt Dogs take the win against Auburn 10-0. Then in 10 innings in Utica, only took 2:31 to get through it. Blue Sox walk off the Diamond Dogs. Just above the shoelaces, that's going to be ball 4, and Brody Rowley is on base, here to start things off for the Outlaws. Down will go to Jack Bateman in the 10 spot in the lineup.
Next up for your Outlaws, Jack.
The other 2 games in the league tonight, Glens Falls and Saugerty is playing beyond 7 innings for just the 2nd time in their season set, and they play each other 8 times. 8-2, the Stallions have the lead in the 8th inning. And then in the top of the 8th in Newark, high-scoring affair, Pioneers and Pilots. It's 11-8 Elmira right now. Rowley wanted to run. Is Bateman going to take a called strike 1? Bateman 1 for 3 starting this thing off. Had 2 RBIs in the 3rd inning. Is now Bateman going to shoot one up over the screen on the first base line, and it'll be 0-2. Rowley with a lead off the first base bag. On the run is Bateman straight on back again, so Rowley will have to retreat. Brody took off, red hot trying to get to second. But now we'll see if he runs again with another 0-2 count. After Bateman, we're back to the top of the order for Brendan Connolly, who does have one of his cousins from South Carolina in attendance tonight. On the run, Rowley is indeed on the move. Slap tag at second and not going to be in time, and so Brody runs himself right into scoring position. It's the first ball of the count as it'll be 1-2. And so Bateman will readjust his batting helmet and settles on in. Another one straight on back into the screen behind the plate. And so we'll see a 6 pitch in this AB. Bateman trying to get hot here in this last part of the season. He was pretty cold to begin the month of July. He's a guy who this year at Holy Cross didn't really get to play a lot. And so coming here to Oneonta for the summer, he's, trying to find his niche. Is that one going to miss off the lower outside? He does have 3 hits over the last 2 games. That's one thing. He was hitless for 2 consecutive games. And then, it struck right back. Had a hit against Mohawk, 2 hits yesterday. Also took a walk against the Dragons. So Bateman trying to find a little bit of consistency. Looking towards second. Rowley able to get back in. That's the thing with the lack of the infield or lack of infield depth on this team at the moment with guys that have left and gotten hurt. Jack Bateman is going to be playing a lot of ball here to end things out. 2-2 now the count. Bateman, this is his 17th game tonight. Swing and a miss, and he'll be retired for the first out of the 8th. Up will go next to Brendan Connolly. Just mentioned it, but a cousin from South Carolina is coming up and spending the week here, and he's in attendance tonight watching Connolly. Connolly 1 for 4 so far in the ball game, as he had a single back in the third, also had a couple of ground balls on the infield that he got retired via, as well as an F9 his last time up, which was back in the sixth. Chen with an underhand ball is that one out towards left in foul territory. It drops. His Lineberger was looking, hoping he could make a play on one and finish things off right there. So we get a quick mound trip from Jackson Williford as he's out there talking to Jin Chen. Williford will go back behind the plate here for Boonville. One thing about the Lumberjacks roster that nobody's talked about all too much this summer, how wide variety this team is they have guys from all over the entire U.S., guys from closest within an hour of Boonville to as far as Cali. Connolly, the 0-1, out towards the right center gap, racing on over, and that one's caught by Braxton. He went over a ways into the gap to make that play, but he's able to come down with it, and there's 2 away now for Ethan Glossa in what could be his last plate appearance as an Outlaw. Or at the very least here in 2024, because, man, this guy bleeds orange. It would be amazing to see him back here again next year. So we'll see what happens next. Never want to get too high, too low, or get ahead of yourselves. But I, for one, have to say I'm a big Ethan Glossa fan and hope Glow finds his way back here to Oneonta again next year. It's been a privilege and a pleasure having him here this summer. Glossa looks on out as he takes a big hack and he couldn't connect as he'll drop down 0-1. Off his second base is Brody Raleigh. He's testing for the throw, and that one going to skip away from Rodriguez in the center, but Raleigh's not going to run because Acevedo does have one of the better center field arms in this East Division. Acevedo has been out there quite a bit recently for Boonville. He's played 9 of the last 10 games for this team in some fashion. 0-1, Glossa, high fly ball right side of the infield. Rodriguez looks up, and he's able to yank it out of the lights, as that'll be a P4 to end this Outlaw half of the 8th. If this was the last plate appearance for Ethan Glossa as an Oneonta Outlaw, then he certainly made his mark, left his stamp here. But again, hopefully we'll see him back here in another 10 months. But for now, we're going to go to the 9th inning. 9-6 going to be your score in favor of Oneonta. Bottom of the 3rd inning, back here on Outlaws YouTube, and it's going to be 9-1-2 to bat for the Glens Falls Dragons against Dan Matafee. Christian Moe going to take a called strike 1 on the lower outside corner of the zone. Mo playing second base tonight for Glens Falls. He's gone 0 for 7 against the Outlaws so far this year, and he puts a bunt right side of the mound. Matafee, gun throw to first in time. Dan Matafee going to get the job done. Been slow to break off the mound, but he gets to that one and puts an absolute rocket into the glove of Chase Armstrong, and that will be a defensive play of the game candidate for Oneonta's defense. We'll go back.
Yeah, pretty much.
Top of the 9th inning is Joel Hayner going to be back on the hill for Oneonta. We got Chase Armstrong's return to the booth for hopefully what is the final half inning of the night. Is that one going to be a called strike one? And Chase, what a night it's been for the Outlaws so far.
Oh, yeah, for sure, for sure. Been hitting very well today.
Waldy Rodriguez has been on base 3 times, hit by a pitch and a pair of singles. As Hayner's 0-1, shot straight on back into the screen, and now it'll be 0-2. And Chase, you had a prime seat the other night at Mohawk Valley. Joel Hayner taking a loss. I mean, what was kind of, how that one went down?
That one, he was pitching very well for sure, but they were just getting a hold of it, just like that one right there. I mean, they were just getting a hold of it, putting it in spots. Some calls didn't go our way. But he's definitely out here for redemption for sure.
So Waldy Rodriguez is going to take a leadoff single out to right field in front of Ethan Blossa. Josh Braxton going to be the next up. And in terms of biggest takeaways from what you've seen from this game tonight, what do you got for me?
We've swung the bat very well today. Our pen has came in and done its job for sure.
Gun throw down a second, slap the tag on, and it's not going to be in time. Rodriguez is going to get himself a stolen bag. That was a great heads-up throw from Dangler behind the plate.
Yep. But our bullpen coming in and doing its job really helped us out with Jordan going, what was it, like 6, 7 innings? No, 6.
6, yeah.
Going 6 innings. Definitely helped us for sure with our bullpen.
And so Hayner now with a 1-0 count. Again, off the second base bag, it's Waldy Rodriguez. Is that one going to miss down and outside for ball 2? And in terms of the bullpen, how confident are you and the rest of the boys and your pitching staff here into the final week of the season?
Oh, we're very confident. Being out in the field and having guys come in, just throwing strikes, doing their job, getting outs is definitely the best feeling when you're out in the field.
Count going to be 2-1 after a bit swing and a miss on Josh Braxton. And in terms of how you get along with the pitchers here in Oneonta, who are some of the ones that you've really built up strong relationships with this summer?
Kemp is a good one. He's always talking to everybody, but him and I have talked quite a bit. Joel, he's kind of just that guy that's always talking for sure. And then I would say probably Jordan too, because also Jordan and Jordan and Joel also umpire too, so meeting them down at Cooperstown, talking about umpiring definitely helps.
Burnsworth with a throw off the glove of Waiting, rolls into foul territory. Rodriguez is going to take a turn. He'll come on in to score, and now it is a 2-run game. And Chase, on a play like that, what could be done differently?
I mean, it's kind of hard to say for those types of plays. Those are the do-or-die plays for sure. But, I mean, just a slight earlier release or later release for Owen, that could change it from that play or to an out.
So Hernandez now represents the tying run in this game as he shoots one up over the screen, out of play. And in terms of playing third base, such a critical position, not getting regular reps over there, do you think that kind of factors in sometimes with things like that?
Yeah, especially with Owen. He's always working around in the infield, but I think this is like the third, maybe fourth time possibly him like playing there in game. So he's definitely getting his money's worth this game. So
the count 1-1 now on Hernandez. And in terms of you playing first base, what do you particularly enjoy about playing first?
I'm always involved. Always involved. Whether it's a drop third, playing the infield, pickoffs, just always being involved in mainly every play.
So a throw down to third, not going to be in time to get Josh Bratz into his running as soon as that ball left Joel Hayner's hand. So now 90 feet away from a 1-run game. And Chase, what has got to give here to hold on to this lead?
We got to get this better. We got to get this out.
So Hernandez, the 2-1. Tates it for a ride out towards shallow right, Waiting over in foul territory, looking up, and he's got this one. Over at third, Braxton will hold up there. And so, Chase, you said it, they got the out.
Yep.
The third baseman from the University of Fort Lauderdale, number 5, Garrett Lineberger.
And in terms of the way this defense operates, Connor Waiting over there, drifts over, waving everybody else off. Is that what usually, is kind of how things are working for this team?
Yeah. Especially when you have a second baseman that knows that a first baseman, when he's waving you off, that means he's not going to go in and call you off because he trusts you to catch that ball. That's always the best feeling as a first baseman. When you call it and your second baseman lets you have it, that means he knows he trusts you.
Garrett Lineberger now down in the count, 0-1. Top of the ninth, it's a 9-7 game. It's Hayner going to bullet a fastball in there to make it 0-2. And Chase, the fastball movement from Joel Hayner, what are you seeing here in this inning?
These hitters are not seeing it too well right now. Other than the first two batters, they're just taking them. So they must not be seeing it too well.
0-2, going to miss off the upper outside corner. And this isn't the first time that these Boonville batters have seen Hayner. He did throw 3 innings out of the pen back on July the 2nd when Boonville was here. Hayner now with a count 1-2. Steps and fires as that one tapped over to Burnsworth. Going to field cleanly with a high throw, but it's in time as that's the 5-3 to get Lineberger. Does pick up an RBI, though. And Chase now to 1-run game.
Shortstop, number 15, Luke Picone.
So Luke Picone, if you're Joel Hayner, what are you thinking about with this batter?
Either pitch to contact, just get the last out. There's nobody on, so especially with this big Damaschke Field, it's hard to hit it out. But just pitch to contact just like that.
Right to short.
Bates, make a good throw. Nope.
Waiting, slap the tag on, but not in time. So that's going to be an infield single, and Boonville, a bunch of guys were running on out of the dugout.
That's a throwing error on Bates.
So that will be an E6. And now Ethan Acevedo going to get to bat again. And while you said pitch to contact, that one certainly put in play.
Yep.
Acevedo back into the screen behind the plate as it'll be 0-1. And Chase, Every time the Outlaws have seen Boonville this year, it never seems like any game is truly out of reach. Even in the last inning, you guys had a 5-run lead in this game, and now all of a sudden it's a 1-run game. How does that happen? Why is Boonville like this?
I think it's because some guys, whether it be the pitchers or some of the fielders, just don't stay in it. Like they kind of lose focus. So that's just something we got to work on, is staying focused all throughout the entire game.
1-1, gonna miss off the upper outside corner of the zone, and it'll go 2-1. And how do you as players go about trying to make that adjustment to stay more focused and stay locked in?
As fielders, just locking in every pitch. For infielders, taking that 1-2 hop, getting ready for the ball to come to you. Outfielders just taking a 1-2 step, ready to see the ball off the bat. But just, the little things.
So Hayner checking that runner heavily to first. It's Luke Pacone after the throwing error by Bateman. Off the upper outside corner of the zone once again. Now the count 3-1. And Chase, in a situation like this, what are you throwing if you're Joel Hayner?
Fastball. You got to get a strike. Got to get him to swing just like that.
And so the count's going to run full as Joel Hayner trying to finish this thing off and get the Outlaws back to the win column. Hayner with a long glance over to first. His payoff pitch sent off foul. And Chase, what's the go-to to try to put down Acevedo?
It's either try to get him a chase, especially since he's get a good off-speed pitch on him, with that Joe does have. Since he swung at 2 fastballs and fouled one off, or try to bang him with another fastball.
Hayner back ready with the count jacked up at 3-2. Once again, another foul ball. Is that one going to come to the left of the seats?
3 fastballs in a row. I would think Joe was wanting to throw that slider right now.
So this is going to be the 8th pitch of the at-bat here between Hayner and Acevedo in this top of the 9th. Tying run is at first, and Luke Pacone, 9-8 game in favor of the Outlaws. Hayner ready to go with this one. Swing and a miss! And the ball game's over. The Outlaws get back to the win column as they take down Boonville 9-8 here at home. And Chase, you said it, he goes slider.
Yep.
And man, what do you got to say about this game tonight?
Very, very good game. Both teams swinging it. Both teams hitting it very well. Both teams had their errors. Kind of even playing all the way through. But I would say our bullpen was better than theirs, and I think that's the reason why we won the game.
Well, we're going to step aside and take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to wrap things up here for tonight on YouTube. That's going to do it for this one. The Outlaws going to move to 15-16-2 with the victory. As the final line, 9 runs, 10 hits, and 5 Outlaw errors. 8 runs, 11 hits, and 2 errors for Boonville. As that will do it for this one. The Outlaws take 6 of 7 in the season series from Boonville this year. Joel Hayner going to get credited with the save out of the bullpen, as the Outlaws put up 66 runs to Boonville's 35 in the 7 games between these two this year. Lumberjacks going to have the day off tomorrow, just as the Outlaws do, before they go to Amsterdam on Monday night for a 6:45 game. Outlaws going to host Mohawk Valley back here Monday night at 7 o'clock. We'll have happy hour from 5 to 6. So time's winding down. 3 more games here at Damaschke Field in 2024. But first, we're going to enjoy our off day tomorrow and hope you do as well. Outlaws back to the win column as they take down Boonville 9-8.